Good morning. I'm Eric Reese. We're 20 days out from Selection Sunday. Basketball Buckeyes have 4 opportunities left to get on the right side of the bubble. Ohio State fell at number 15 Michigan State yesterday, 66-60, despite 32 from Bruce Thornton, who moves to second on OSU's all-time scoring list. No Devin Royal for Ohio State yesterday. He was out with the flu. Buckeyes 17-10 overall, 9-7 in Big Ten play. They'll play at Iowa Wednesday night at 9. Hear from OSU's head coach today at noon on the Jake Diebler radio show. The 10th-ranked Ohio State women's squad snapped a 2-game losing streak Sunday. Jelani Cambridge had 33 points to power Ohio State to an 88-83 win over USC. Buckeyes have 2 more games left before the Big Ten tournament. And in the NBA, the Cavs lost to the Thunder 121-113 in OKC, their first loss with James Harden in the lineup. This update is sponsored by Uber Eats. Uber Eats is a great deal waiting for you at Old Bag of Nails. Get a buy one, get one free deal on burgers on the app only. Terms apply. See app for details.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
it's a rundown.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. One game. If we played them 10 times, they might win 9. Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can.
Now Jack Hughes puts it around the car. United States with numbers. Back across it comes. Jack Hughes wins it. The golden goal for the United States. For the first time since the 1980 miracle, the United States takes the gold. Jack Hughes beating Jordan Bennington. USA! 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 USA!
And that, my friends, is how you do it live on a gold medal winning Victory Monday edition of the program. Boys, Bake, well done. Sets the tone. Incredible job. Chills. I got chills. We had a youth basketball game at 9 o'clock, last tournament of the season. And so we saw puck drop. It was about 15 minutes away. We watched puck drop. We watched till 8:30. We were listening to you and Scotty as you guys were breaking it down. And Bootsy was sitting next to me. And I said, the guy talking right now is going to be worthless during this show. He is not going to pay attention to anything. He's watching. I don't even know if you knew what was coming out of your mouth. I'm sure it was moving. I know it was because I heard you. But I'm like, I told Bootsy, I'm like, this guy's worthless. I don't know if Scotty's got any value either in this point. I'm guessing they're both just going to pitch calls and try to watch game and do the best they can. So we had you guys on. Our game started at 9 o'clock. So as the game was going on, I would get my phone blowing up every time something happened positively or negatively. At the end of our game, it ended about 9:45, 9:50, something like that. I thought to myself, we ended up winning, so our next game was at 11. So I'm like, all right, I've got an hour here. And so as this is happening, it occurs to me, you can watch this on your phone. And I, for the first time in like a decade, I thought technology's pretty great. So I went to the cafeteria and I watched on my phone all the way through the end of the third period. So the 4-minute, when we're on a 4-minute power play, then we give one back, somehow survive that. Unfortunately, the golden goal happened into the 11 o'clock hour, and so I missed the golden goal. Now, 175 text messages later in the start of the first quarter of a youth basketball game, it became abundantly clear. Here's what was so cool about it. The audience at this youth basketball tournament is not what I would typically describe as a hockey audience. It wasn't. But this is what playing for country does. This is what the Olympics do. This is what sport can do at the highest level, is it can transcend its traditional fan bases. And that's what this did. And so while I was watching on a phone, a bunch were gathered around me. People were gathered everywhere in this empty cafeteria on a Sunday morning, watching on phones, trying to follow along on social. I looked over at the crowd. Half the people were watching the game. Half the people were watching this game on a phone. This is what it can do. This is what sports does at its best. This is why we all love it. It's why it's the best thing going ever. And when you get patriotism in the middle of it, and then you get, it's not often that a team that has the type of talent Team USA does can be an underdog, but that Canadian team is the one team that you can be an underdog. And the idea that it's 46 years in between the miracle on ice and what happened yesterday, well, there's some poetry to all of this, boys. This was a pretty special Sunday morning.
This is going to sound like I'm cranking out the hyperbole machine, but that was the best hockey game I've ever seen in my life. That had it all. Did it not? I mean, you had
don't really have a pushback.
You had 3 periods of incredible hockey. You had almost moments for Team Canada. Still not sure how that Taze puck doesn't land in the goal, but an MVP 41 save performance out of Connor Hellebuck. You had Johnny Hockey's parents in the stands that they went to a lot. And then at the end of the game, when Jack Hughes goes gold with that 3-on-3 hockey, I've said it before, the best, despite what John Cooper might have, consternation with, which I guess I kind of understand from his standpoint. But you bring Johnny Hockey's kids out on the ice. They take his jersey and they skate around with it. Like, this was a gold medal performance for America. This was a gold medal performance for the ages. And this was a gold medal performance for Johnny Gaudreau. Mm-hmm. It had it all. And hard not to cry in moments when you see the emotion wash over everybody involved with Team USA hockey yesterday.
You're right, Reese. It had it all. And for a majority of that game, Team Canada was the better team. Mm-hmm. They were buzzing in the second period. They were buzzing in the first half of that third period. And there were so many things that it just seemed like that it was USA was winning that game no matter what. It was the 46th anniversary of the Miracle on Ice. 46 years to the day that they beat the Soviet Union team. Nathan McKinnon fans on a wide open net. Nathan McKinnon does that one time out of 100, maybe. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned the Devin Taves goal that goes off a Hellebuck stick, and I'm not even sure if Taves doesn't even touch that, if that doesn't go in, and if Hellebuck can get the stick down to get it. But he goes to hit it, Hellebuck gets it, and it deflects off. Almost 2 minutes of 5-on-3 power play. That power play, and I said this multiple times, you got to keep that power play off the ice. That power play is insane. And then the final play, Jack Hughes with an unbelievable back check on McDavid. Then Cale Makar pinches, and he's wrong. How often does that ever happen?
Right.
Z hustling up ice, not only making a smart play to get the puck, but bodying up Nathan McKinnon and knocking him 3 feet off the puck. And then Z throws an absolute perfect pass to Jack Hughes, who, by the way, makes one of the smartest hockey plays maybe you'll ever see as he's coming up the ice after his back check, and he sees Dylan Larkin crossing over to give Z support. He fans out and goes wide to give them space. I mean, everything about that play was perfect, and it was just like, I have chills right now talking about it. I was at the R Bar yesterday for the second 2 periods, And a lot of the stuff in that open was from the R Bar, the USA chants, the whole bar.
Were they?
The whole
Some
bar.
Nat sound.
The whole bar singing the national anthem. And then the Johnny hockey chants when they bring Johnny's kids out on the ice, which I don't know how you don't get emotional over that. Doesn't that seem like that's the final piece in the grieving process of all of this for them? And they're going to grieve forever, but isn't this like this is like the stamp on all of that? The whole Johnny Gaudreau situation is them winning gold with his jersey in there, his kids on the ice. And that picture of Z, there's a picture floating around. It's just Z and Johnny's daughter. And Z has the most genuine smile on his face holding up a wear number. I mean, that's just, I don't know how that doesn't put tears in your eyes.
Well, the layer of it that you guys just both eloquently discussed there is the one that even hits home more specifically for us, and that we have incredible local ties here. I mean, Johnny was a Blue Jacket. Z is probably going to go down as the best player to ever wear the jersey. He's certainly on that trajectory at this point. And he's the one with the assist on the golden goal that gets Team USA their first gold since 1980. You can't write this stuff. You just can't write it. I mean, it's too much. It's too much. It was kismet, and it was as cool of a Sunday morning as you're ever going to have. We're gonna relive it quite a bit here over the morning. John Davidson going to join us coming up at 11:30. Of course, he is a Canadian, but my guess is really split allegiances by the time the puck dropped yesterday as he took in everything that happened there. It was an incredible Sunday morning, and one that deserves quite a bit of attention. You'll hear from some of the particulars in it. You've heard from some of the grousing from Team Canada. That's the beauty of the sport, though. The best team on a given day doesn't always win. There's puck luck, and there's strange things that happen, and hot goalies. And Connor Hellebuck yesterday was out of his ever-loving mind. He really was. And because of that, and timely plays, and one of the most clutch plays you're ever going to see, it's a gold medal for Team USA. Much more on this to come. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again, so call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Hey, folks, it's Berm here from 97.1 The Fans, Austin and Berm Show. Last week, I was on the road visiting a recruit, and I saw one of my old fast food favorites on the side of the road, and was hungry for lunch, and I thought to myself, this place used to just call my name. And I thought, hey, why not stop in and have some? I'm on maintenance right now with Awaken 180, and I'm allowed to eat it. So I pulled in, I ordered the usual, I sat there and unwrapped it in the restaurant, and I was so excited. And then halfway through it, I thought, why am I eating this? And it wasn't even in a guilty way. It was more confusion because it didn't taste like I remembered. It didn't hit like it used to. I wasn't craving it anymore, and I really wasn't excited about it. And I just kind of stopped wanting it, and that's when it clicked. Awaken 180 didn't just help me drop 35 pounds. It changed how I look at food. I'm 3 weeks into maintenance, and I haven't put a pound of that 35 back on. And I finally understand what works for me. It's not about I can't. It's about not wanting it the same way anymore. I'm not craving the bad. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. You know, there is no end to the amount of stuff in my garage. I've got bicycles. I've got rollerblades. I've got every basketball, football, baseball, hockey puck, lacrosse, you name it, we've got it in there. If your garage looks like mine, that might be one of the reasons you've put off getting your garage floor fixed. Maybe you've got stains and cracks, bad epoxy job. Whatever the case, if your garage looks bad, that feels bad when you pull in there. But I don't want to have to clean out my garage to get my garage floor fixed, right? Well, good news. Comer & Cross concrete floor coatings, They will come and fix your garage floor in just one day. They will take all the stuff out of your garage so you don't have to. Plus, Comer & Cross, they're all certified, uniformed pros. No subcontractors at Comer & Cross. Get your quick and easy Comer & Cross garage floor estimate now. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR is the number. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com. Get a new garage floor in just one day with Comer & Cross.
Rothman and Ice.
So who's the source of this?
One of those sites I go to.
Is it okay?
I don't know.
You better clarify what site it's
Clip that. Okay.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Hi, I'm Cherie Sample Hughes, Chair for Women in Government. February is Rare Liver Disease Month. If you're feeling unusually tired, struggling with brain fog, or dealing with persistent itching or body pain, it may be due to liver disease. Fortunately, liver disease is diagnosed with the use of simple blood tests and can help be managed with the right care plan. Talk with your doctor about getting screened and the best steps for treatment. With the right care and support, there's a path forward. Find more at womeningovernment.org.
Ohio has over 920,000 diabetics. If you are a diabetic, take a step in the right direction by having your feet checked routinely by a podiatric physician, the most qualified doctors to care for your feet. Adding a podiatrist to your healthcare team can help you better manage the effects of diabetes on your feet. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see a lingering chance of snow showers, although most of us stay dry and cloudy with highs right around freezing and gusty winds. For tonight, mostly cloudy overnight, our lows down into the teens with the breezy winds continuing, adding that wind chill. That'll continue for us going into Tuesday, although we will be partly sunny and slightly warmer with highs in the upper 30s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it. Bo knows many people. He talks to the interesting ones on this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
Certainly with some grousing from Team Canada. Is Nathan McKinnon with a quote, "You be the judge of who is the better team today." That is a quote he gave to Joshua Clipperton of the Canadian Press. So this John Cooper, this is verified. This is him, because I can't tell what is or what isn't real anymore with some of these quotes. My kids get fed quotes on Instagram about every 10 seconds, and they show them to me, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not real. I don't think that's it. I don't think Donovan Mitchell's challenging Darius Garland to a fist fight. I'm pretty sure that quote's wrong. But this one is right, this John Cooper one.
Yeah, TSN's got it. I mean, everybody that's
there you go,
reporting on this game and that's reporting on hockey is basically parroting what he said yesterday. I think it was into the media pool afterwards about 3-on-3 hockey.
Yeah, so he said you take 4 players off the ice. Now hockey's not hockey anymore. There's a reason overtime and shootouts are in play. It's all TV-driven to end games, so it's not a long time. There's a reason why it's not in the Stanley Cup final or the playoffs. I'm sure he's just answering a question on 3-on-3 hockey here. Like, I don't know that he's necessary. Because he also, I saw a lot of his post-game stuff, and a lot of it had to do with how proud he was of his guys and how hard they played. And to Bake's point, they were... It was an assault. It was blitzkrieg. I mean, it was D-Day. It was all of those things. It was just a relentless... I mean, did Macklin Celebrini ever not shoot? They credit him with 6 shots on goal. I thought he had 36 shots on goal. It felt like if the puck was on his stick, he shot it.
I mean, that's kind of what you want with your guy.
For sure.
What a tournament from that kid.
I mean, that's a 19. He could play on the juniors.
Listen, both of those things can be true, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What John Cooper's, and I believe John Cooper's right in that. 3-on-3 is exciting, but it's not the best. It's not the most... It's not the way you play hockey all the time. And in the regular season, I understand it. Sure. But we've seen a Blue Jackets team play 5 overtimes in a Stanley Cup playoff game. Now, is there a better answer to that, too? I would think so. And in the Olympics, you've got schedules, and you don't want these games going on forever.
Yeah.
But I do think there should be maybe a 20-minute period of 5-on-5. In the gold medal in the semifinal, like the semifinals in the medal games, maybe there should be at least a full overtime period of 5-on-5. And listen, Nathan McKinnon, you're right. You guys were the better team for a lot of that game.
Yeah.
But you still lost. It doesn't change the fact who won.
No, and these are the rules. Everybody knew they were 3-on-3. So I don't think he's grousing saying we lost because of this. This is hockey. This is hockey. When we beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, were we the better team? No. They were the best team in hockey. Bob was out of his mind. You got inspired play for 4 games and you swept them. And that's hockey. What Hellebuck did yesterday is as legendary as any individual performance you're ever going to see on that type of stage. I mean, he will not. You guys, did you look at the stats on this? Did you see how many shots? He saved 41 shots. 41. He was peppered. The McKinnon one's unbelievable. The McKinnon miss.
That never
as much
happens.
as the Taze one. As much as the Taze one is the McKinnon, the still shot of the McKinnon miss is an all-time shot. There's just no chance that Nathan McKinnon, who's one of the 5 best players on the planet, misses that shot. What did you say, Bake? If he shoots it 100 times, he makes it 99?
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe more than
99
that.
and a half. 99 and a half. But he didn't. And so what you got was you got one of the strange things where a team that has the Kachuk brothers and has Hellebuck and Werenski and the Hughes and Larkin and Gunsel and Eichel and Matthews and all of this, you get this rare chance where they are prohibitive underdogs. And we haven't beaten Canada since when? We beat them in pool play. Play. But in terms of when it matters, they get the wins. And they, they always have. And so to finish it the way that they did, to have the dream scenario the way that they did, and I cannot imagine how nervy this all is for NHL owners and general managers, and I'm guessing in Pittsburgh you're not really pleased about everything that transpired yesterday or over the last week with the injury to Sid and all of that. But at the same time, you cannot doubt the value that this gave to the sport and the eyeballs that were on the sport. And the fact that the NHL is going to come back later on this week and have this as a momentum to buoy it into its stretch run is a hell of a thing.
Can you imagine Saturday's reception for Zach Werenski?
No.
It's going to be all time.
Jackets of the Islanders. I think it's a 6 o'clock face-off, actually, which is cooler for that Saturday. But the idea that he's coming back to all that fanfare. Even Elvis said when he came back to Columbus, he was looking forward to giving Z a hug. Like, this is some all-time stuff from Werenski. Easy for me to say, but we had said that as good as he performed in the Four Nations, that this was going to be something that, and his ice time was a little bit more limited yesterday, but when it mattered, he performed. And it was, it's incredible to have that kind with the social media-ness of all of this, with the game that, only brings out once every 4 years, once however often, that, everybody's involved in, everybody's watching, everybody's paying attention to see him have that moment was awesome. And to I guess, kind of foreshadow, I guess for lack of a better way to phrase it, what's to come Saturday with the welcome back your gold medal defenseman, Zach Werenski, and the cheer that Nationwide Arena is going to have for him in that, with the Blue Jackets on a playoff push coming out of this, going in with so much momentum. Yeah, that's going to be really cool.
To your point, Reese, Zach in the tournament in 6 games in the Olympics, 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points, and he was a +8. And I've seen a lot of people, a lot of hockey people saying, hey, let's not... saying that Zach Werenski's performance in this Olympics is kind of getting overshadowed a little bit by what Hellebuck did and how good Quinn Hughes was. Sure. But don't sleep on what Zach Werenski did for Team USA. I've seen a lot of hockey people posting that over the last 24 hours. Bo, to your point on Sidney Crosby, I hated that he missed that game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome that Zach got the gold medal and Team USA won, but chances are that's Crosby's last Olympics. And that sucks that he didn't get to play. And one more thing in all of this, in the Columbus ties, I absolutely loved seeing John Tortorella get a gold medal.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It's awesome.
That he was on that coaching staff and that he helped Team USA get that win, the winningest coach in U.S.-born coach, the winningest in history, what he did for the Columbus Blue Jackets. It was awesome to see Torts get that.
Yeah, I don't know if you're ever going to have these many ties to here. I mean, you're talking about Torts, you're talking about Z. I mean, the fingerprints are all over it. The Gaudreau kids going out. I mean, that's the other level of this, because you know what USA Hockey meant to the Gaudreaus and still does and always will. And you think about how many years Matthew Tkachuk played with Johnny Gaudreau in Calgary.
Yeah.
I mean, how long? I mean, he knew him before he was a father. I mean, he knew him, before he was married, all of those things. So that connective tissue, and then Z obviously playing with him in the time that he was here. So that layer adds to it so much as well. Inevitably, you were going to beat Canada at some point. It was so cool that it was on this biggest stage on the anniversary of the Miracle on Ice. And I do think I heard Ryan Whitney this morning talking a little bit about this in terms of what this will do for Team USA and what it will do for American hockey. And I think it will do a lot of those things. I think that if you were a kid growing up in Canada around the time Sidney Crosby had the golden goal, you probably emulated that goal for the rest of your life. If you're an American kid, you're going to emulate that Jack Hughes goal for the rest of your life. You're going to emulate that pass from Z to Hughes for the goal, and you skate off, and it's a golden goal. By the way, the Hughes kid's having a pretty good year. He's the one that's dating Tate McRae, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. Get the golden goal in the Olympics.
That's
Canada's darling. You're dating Princess of Canada.
The most hockey thing ever, maybe the year that he's having with who he's with how he's playing, with the Olympics and his performance in that, and then the images post gold medal game of him with a broken face, just smiling and just enjoying everything with much less teeth than he had. I think one was fully broken, then he had chips like that. That stick must have gotten him like diagonal on the face, because there were a couple chiclets missing out of that mouth.
That might be the final straw in Tate McRae's Canadian citizenship. Because they were already mad at her because she did some kind of Team USA ad, and then her boyfriend gets the golden goal. Get out.
Pretty good. Kindly leave. You're not singing "Oh Canada" anymore.
Oh, Cole, how did he mess that one up?
Oh, I don't know.
One man's loss.
Well, before, it was before she became what she became to this level. It was.
Come on.
A little bit before. All right. You're going to hear from some of the principals in this one. What a Sunday morning. Mike Sullivan had a hell of a quote about the makeup of this team that we'll have for you. In addition to that, you'll hear from the Hughes boys on their big win, Austin Matthews, as well as American hockey is golden. That's in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron, what are those?
Those are what are known as toilets, Jerry.
I know they're toilets, but why are they sitting back to back like bookends?
Congratulations, Jerry. You said the magic word.
Get Eco.
Bookends? Bookends is the magic word?
Take a seat, Jerry.
I choose this one.
A good choice. That is the world's most luxurious toilet.
Really? How much is it?
$6,500, including installation.
What? For $6,500, this thing would have to iron my shirts, shine my shoes, and sing happy birthday to me.
Get Eco.
It does way more than that, Jerry.
I'm switching to the other one. How much is this one?
$650, including installation.
Wow, that's a great deal. What does it do?
It does exactly what you would expect, Jerry.
Huh. From $650 to $6,500. Eco has a toilet for everyone.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and you can always trust our HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Refi your car loan at Kemba Financial Credit Union and get up to $500 cash back the next day. Sometimes a little extra cash is all you need to put a boost in your step and your bank account. More money, less stress. It's easy. Apply at Kemba.org. Restrictions apply. Ends April 18th, 2026. Equal opportunity lender.
What would it take for my child to only miss half a day of school for treatment?
What would it take to fund a cure for childhood cancer?
It would take all of us to come together to support the research. Join us. Go to childrenscancer.org today.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
What's up? What's up, man? What's up with you?
All right, here's what's up on a Monday edition of the program. Team USA winning gold in golden fashion. By the way, twice over Canada. Women did it last week. Men did it on Sunday. So 2 Olympic hockey gold medals for Team USA, both in thrilling fashion, both times over Canada. This is their one sport, and we got them in both. That's tough. That's tough waking up on a Monday to for our neighbors to the north. Mike Sullivan had this on the construction of Team USA. Here's the quote. "The team was built with personality in mind. We were loaded with personality up and down our lineup. There are whiskey drinkers and milk drinkers, and we've got a lot of whiskey drinkers on this team." Yeah, I would say it's a great quote and also pretty accurate because it seemed like, and that's the Kachucks. I mean, that's what they brought is that to this team, and they brought it in spades. Here is Mike Sullivan on Connor Hellebuck, who was unbelievable yesterday.
Well, he did a great job. He recognized that he didn't have an opportunity to gap up on him. He just absorbed it, and he didn't give him the opportunity to cut inside. I thought he did a terrific job defending him. And, we've talked a lot about overtime. We talked about it at the start of the very tournament because we felt like overtime was going to be a difference maker by nature of how the tournament is designed. And so we talked about, how we were going to defend and some tactics offensively. And I thought Jack did a terrific job. He just absorbed it. You got to value defense in overtime when we played a lot in the NHL when the best chances usually occur off your defense. And that was an example of it there.
Yeah, sir. I think that's him on Jack's goal there. That's what that one sounded like to me, was him on Jack's goal.
I think he was talking about Jack Hughes and the defensive play he made there to set up the goal.
The goal, yeah. All right, let's hear from Jack Hughes. Here's Jack on the game-winning goal.
Overtime, anything can happen. I mean, they have very skilled players. We have very skilled players. It's just up and down the rink, kind of like a little grudge match, like who's going to make the first mistake, who's going to give up the first odd man rush, and just a good play by Larkson Z getting up the ice, and then obviously Z found me.
He certainly did. Quinn Hughes, who was also incredible in this entire run on seeing his brother score the game-winning goal.
He's right next to me, so I don't want to get too soft, but I don't know. I just know, I remember when he got injured. He got injured last year in Vegas, and he was just crushed, and a couple of days after that, he sent me a text message of what he wanted to say to the media, post on Instagram. It was basically a long message about how much he loves the game and he's sorry to the fans. He just wants to play. And I was like, hey, just maybe put some of that stuff out. It was so raw. And I told him to take some stuff out, but I remember thinking this guy just loves the game. He just wants to play. And for him to make that impact, I'm not surprised because when I look around the room before overtime, there's probably 3 or 4 guys that look at it. I'm like, that guy's not nervous, he wants to be that guy. And I felt that way about Jack.
Incredible performance there. And then the cherry on top of all of this for Team USA is having Johnny Gaudreau's children out on the ice post game to celebrate all that comes with it. The captain of Team USA is Austin Matthews. Here he was on that.
He's had a big impact on a lot of guys in our room. A lot of guys grew up with him, played with him, spent a lot of time with him, and whether that's the NHL or World Championships, different settings like that. And, we've had his jersey in our room last year at the Four Nations. We had his jersey in the room here at the Olympics. And just a subtle reminder that, him, his brother, that they're kind of with us in spirit. And, to be able to get it done like that, to win, to have his jersey out there and the team photo, and have his kids come out and be with us. We're obviously thinking of him, and we just felt like the impact that he's had on so many guys in our room was special, and he was with us here in spirit the whole tournament.
I mean, it had it all. You're a script writer. You walk into a Hollywood movie studio and you pitch this and you go, come on, get out of here. No one's buying it. It's not a miracle on ice and that you didn't beat the Soviets, a team that was unbeatable. It's not that. You had Austin Matthews, one of the best players in the world. I mean, you have all of those things. So this was the second most talented team in this tournament. It may have been the best made up team in this tournament. And that goes to that whiskey drinker, milk drinker thing that Sullivan was talking about when you talk about the edge that they built this team with. It was there. This was a team that makes you uncomfortable to play against them, and then they got otherworldly goaltending, and that's what leads to gold. It's something that I do think it's one of those things you're only going to remember forever. Like, you're going to have it on, and I'm guessing that the numbers for this will be astronomical. This is all circumstantial, but like I said off the top, there wasn't a single person not talking about this all day yesterday. No, not one.
Yeah, this took over everybody's discussion. This is what's kind of going to populate discussion today, and you're going to see on your social media timelines forever the game-winning goal, the celebration afterwards, in Milan Cortina, and the celebration all over the country. I know there were places in Columbus that had live reaction. Like I remember seeing one of students at Miami University who were celebrating after that goal, and it's pandemonium everywhere. And so those are the kind of reactions that live forever on social media that fans can have. And this is what this is the best part of the Olympics, right? Is the spectacle of it all. And you got a Sunday morning spectacle that led into a pretty good day of sports. I know results weren't as good. I don't know if anything, honestly, can be as good as that feeling of a gold medal goal, and then to see Team Canada afterward being handed those plushies, like the Olympic, like the gold, the silver medal, like little animal plushies they have. Like, they don't want anything to do with that.
In the world is that anyway?
I don't care, but I love it.
Did you see the look on McKinnon's face when they handed that thing to him?
Yep. It's what they get for being the best team of the day.
What am I doing? What the hell is this?
What is this?
If you're Nathan McKinnon, I think most people believe Connor McDavid is the best hockey player on the planet.
Yeah.
Nathan McKinnon is probably number 2. He's right there in the conversation.
Yeah.
What a day for him to miss that wide open net, like we've talked about, and then just absolutely get bullied off the puck by Zach Werenski on a 50-50 puck where they're both going to it, both getting to it at the same time. And Z just bodies you and pushes you off the puck and then makes the perfect pass that leads to the golden goal. That's got to be a rough day for number 29.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. And the crazy thing is, Cale Makar dang near got there.
He doesn't not get there very often.
I mean, it's that Z pass to Larkin. I mean, he damn near got there. He just misses it. And
a great job by Larkin to get his stick on it and knock it away.
I'm watching it frame by frame right now. Makar actually gets his stick on it first. His stick's on it first. Larkin jabs and somehow gets it through. But Makar's actually there first. Pass kind of flutters on Z coming out. It kind of flutters to Larkin. And Makar makes a play that he makes all the time, which is why he's, the best defenseman on the planet. And Larkin just somehow gets enough on it to kick it ahead. And then it's just a sprint back the other way. And then, to your point, Z just bullies McKinnon out of there, and that's it. And then the rest is history. But that's what overtime hockey is. There's a randomness to it. There's nothing else really like it. And I'll tell you, for all the grousing about the 3-on-3 from Team Canada, I would much rather have it end like this than, for example, how the World Cup ends with free kick.
Yeah.
At least this is hockey. It's not a shootout. It's hockey.
Either of the coaches would have felt probably the same way. You lose a game like that where you're like, wait a minute, now it's over? Like, it doesn't seem fair because of the suddenness of it and the finality of it, especially in that kind of moment, because you're only going to get, was it 4 years to try this again?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to do the Four Nations here in 2 years, but you have to kind of sit on this if you're Team Canada for a long time.
And if you're Team Canada, if I could throw a perfect 3-on-3 lineup out there, it would be Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, and Cale Makar.
They were talking on the broadcast how, like, when those guys are out there skating, there's nobody on the planet faster, and how it's almost hard to watch, but it's so satisfying to watch because how easy they make it look. And it translates a little bit onto the television, but I don't think you can do it quite the justice unless you're rinkside.
Nobody faster, maybe, but do you know who was just as fast? Jack Hughes and Dylan Larkin.
Yeah.
And that's why that line was buzzing for Team USA. Mike Sullivan was throwing them out. It seemed like every other shift in the final 10 minutes of that game. And I actually looked at my buddy and I said, they're going to start this 3-on-3 overtime with Hughes, Larkin, and Hughes. And they didn't. I believe they went with I think they went with Trocheck to win the faceoff, but then he jumped off. They went with Kachuk, Eichel, and Hughes. And then when Hughes and Larkin came on the ice, I didn't even realize Z was out there with them. But I looked at my friends again and I said, this is the line that scores it.
Did you really?
Because they were just playing, and they have the speed. Larkin and Hughes, they have the speed and the skill to keep up with McKinnon and McDavid. So that's why I thought they were using them in the third period, and it's why I thought he would use them to start in overtime, actually.
It was if you're Team Canada and you can have McDavid, McKinnon, Makar,
it's a cheat
code. We're good. We're good. We'll roll the dice on that. We'll have much more on this as the program goes along. John Davidson going to join us at 11:30. Put the Olympics in perspective. It did feel like, and I don't know if it's just the brutal weather that we've had in February. I think that contributed. Whatever it was, it feels like these Olympics really hit home for a lot of people. We'll get.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. Offering the guaranteed best price is always our baseline. Wedding weekend adds an exceptional advantage. Join us February 27th and 28th and enjoy preferred bridal pricing on select wedding and anniversary bands with advantages up to 30% off plus special no-interest financing on engagement rings. It's a rare opportunity to pair meaningful value with exceptional service and reputation that define Diamond Cellar. Discover Wedding Weekend February 27th and 28th at Diamond Cellar on Salma Road or at Easton Town Center.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Looking to launch a career in the skilled trades but don't know where to begin? Part-time service in the Ohio Army National Guard can help. You can kickstart your career by enlisting in one of our many trades-based jobs. Get paid to learn these skills and gain on-the-job training when you report to your unit 1 weekend a month or 2 weeks in the summer. To learn how the Guard can pay for your civilian trade certification, visit nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Back in the day, if you wanted to listen to the Fan, you turned on the radio, and that was the end of the story. But now, oh baby, stream us live on the Fan app. TuneIn app, iHeart app, we're everywhere. The Fan, Ohio's streaming destination.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post 9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing, to get the help you need, to find peace.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Winning isn't everything, but at Tim Hortons, every day's a chance to win when you play Roll Up to Win. Maybe it's a free coffee or donut, or a year's supply of fuel from Shell. That goes a long way. Maybe it's a Kobo e-reader, or up to $1,000 in Uber Eats gift cards, or even a VIP getaway to see Cirque du Soleil. Okay, not something you win every day. Roll Up to Win, only at Tim Hortons. No purchase necessary, 18 plus, ends March 22nd, 2026. Tim Hortons app required for digital game. Use the app to reveal digital rules. Game cups while supplies last. Offer a chance to win food and beverage prizes only. See official rules at rolluptowin.com.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Select 12-pack cans of Coca-Cola, 6-pack bottles of Pepsi, or 18 packs of Gatorade, or buy 3, get 3 free with your card. Limit 12. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Must win, right? What does that mean? They're all must wins, I suppose, is probably the reality of it. There is a combination of wins that this team has to have in order to reach its goals of playing in March Madness. My hunch is it will take 2 at least of the last 4 to give yourself a puncher's chance, and then I think you're going to need some help in the Big Ten tournament. I don't think you can be one and done in the Big Ten tournament. A lot of people want to dismiss that and say, oh, the resume, no, I'm telling you, you're bounced early on championship weekend. If you're a one and done in a conference tournament, that is a massive scarlet letter for you to try to overcome. And I don't think that this team is not going to have the good in the bank to be able to survive that. This team is going to be one of those teams that's going to be withdrawing and depositing on a regular basis every single time they play from here on out. What happened yesterday, I don't know that anybody saw coming in terms of the shorthanded nature of it. Devin Royal out as well, so he did not play. So your second and third leading scorers did not play in this game. Now, Bruce Thornton was great. He had 32. He's now the second all-time leading scorer in Ohio State history, passing Herb Williams on that list. Here's a little bit of a cheat code for you. He's going to become the all-time leading scorer in the history of Ohio State basketball. It's not going to be particularly close. He's going to set this way out. Dennis Hobson has had this record for a long, long time. Bruce Thornton is 60 points away from passing D-Hop as the all-time leading scorer in the history of the program. That is heavy stuff. I mean, when is the last time Dennis Hobson played here? Like 86?
Yeah, 86, 87, I believe, was his final year here.
I mean, that's 40 years, guys. 40 years.
Yeah,
the record is held.
This didn't feel yesterday like a must-win. It was you had a like to. And then I think the news, as soon as you hear the news, you're still buzzing from the gold medal game. So it kind of, at least for me, felt like nothing can take I had the Cavs and I had the Buckeyes on at the exact same time. It's like nothing can ruin my day because I kind of expected both results to happen. It made it easier for me with Cleveland going down 40-25 in the first quarter. And the Cavs did fight back, but Thunder didn't have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So it's like if you're going to mess around, whatever. Yeah. It's February. If you're going to ask me if I really care that much about the Cavs, I'm going to probably tell you no. But for the basketball Buckeyes, as soon as they say Devin Royal's out, I'm like, well, that's it. Because it would have had to have been a Bruce Thornton Herculean performance and then something from somebody else, and you got nothing out of Bynum yesterday. And I wonder how he's feeling similarly. But it stinks that these kinds of things happen while Bruce is doing what he's doing, where you have everything else is taking more attention away from the incredible play of Bruce Thornton. The I will you to win, follow me to freedom play. Almost every single game this season, his final season.
Division I players in the last 30 seasons to score 25-plus points and have 2 or fewer turnovers in 3 straight games against AP top 25 opponents. Bruce Thornton, Steph Curry in the 08 tourney run.
That's it.
That's
Pretty
it.
Good company.
That's the list. I'll tell you, I was furious yesterday watching that game because Bruce Thornton is out there giving it his all, and he's got no help whatsoever. I don't know what you do if you're Jake Diebler when you have a lineup out there that is like, it's Bruce, Chapman, Cups, Colin White, and Ivan Yagovin.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you do when those are the guys that you have on the court. And I don't know what Devin Royal's compensation is.
Yeah.
But he's getting paid, and getting paid handsomely to play basketball for Ohio State. And I'm sure maybe he was sick or ill, but he wasn't ill enough that he couldn't be on the bench out there laughing it up with his teammates. Like, to me, if he can't play in that game, he needs to be away from his teammates so none of the others get sick.
Yeah.
Or he should be running to the bathroom every 30 seconds. Like, I don't know. Even if you don't have the lung capacity, give me 10 minutes. Give me 15 minutes so I don't have to deal with these other guys all the time. What
you just did there is something that is going to happen, and I think rightfully so. And I think folks are going to have to get used to it, because the key to that is these are professional athletes. They're not student athletes anymore. They're all compensated, in some cases very richly, to go play. And it's not NBA load management, Darren Peterson. That's not what this is. You've got to get into the dance, and you are compensated to play. And I'm not here to disparage Devin Royal. I have no idea what's going on with him, and so I'll be careful on that in terms of what the illness could be, what the injury could be. The other thing you get with college basketball is you don't get the straight real truth on what is wrong with a player. Like, it's always ambiguity. So I think that's the other thing that kind of stinks. Like, I think as we get further into this, and we're talking about pay for play, and we're talking about professional athletes, which is what they are, that there needs to be a more straightforward injury reporting process so that people know what it is. Like, what this whole dance that's been going on at Kansas for the last 2 months is absurd. That Bill Self can't come out there and just say, this is what the injury is, this is it. Like, that would happen in the league. You would know what the injury is. You would know if it was load management or not. You would know what it is. And so we're left in this ambiguous place where we don't know what someone's health is. And that's the thing which leads to all sorts of things that get awkward. So I think that would solve a little of it. But yeah, it's pay for play.
This is already so hard. And I look to Jake Diebler and the basketball Buckeyes, and I'm like, stop making it harder.
Yeah.
Because it's things like that. It's where you have Devin Royal sitting on the bench. And if he does have the flu, he shouldn't be around anybody. Like, he shouldn't be in the Breslin Center.
No.
I don't want anybody to get the flu, especially at this time of the year. What's he doing? And then when you're in a tough game situation, you cut to the bench and you kind of see him joking around. You go, guys, I wish you'd just like to take this a little more seriously than I feel like you are. And if you think if Bynum's dealing with something like that, then I just want to go to them and say, stop making this tougher on yourselves. But they are. And it's everybody but Bruce is making it so damn difficult to have sympathy for the spot that they are in right now.
And you got nothing from Bynum yesterday.
No.
If he was
2 rebounds?
If he was sick, 0 points, 2 rebounds. But
How?
at least he tried.
Sure.
At least he went out there and played. Like, I will never understand what happened yesterday with Devin Royal unless somebody comes out and, like you said, Bo, is totally
They
transparent.
need to just be transparent.
And explains all of it to me. Why is he on the bench? Possibly getting his teammates sick, or why is he not running? Like, there's got to be something that is keeping him off the court. I don't get that.
I think it's going to be I think we dealt with it last year in November with Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. Kansas is dealing with it on the biggest stage possible with Darren Peterson. And I do think that what happened yesterday, I mean, you can fix this by just being direct with what it is. I mean, just come out and say what it is. Like, they're not student athletes anymore. Some of them may go to class fine, but the reality is this is all compensated. And so there should be real injury reports when it comes to guys playing or not. And that, to me, is a pretty simple fix for all of them. Next time you'll see the basketball Buckeyes, they will be at Iowa on Wednesday. Remainder of the schedule, I really think in order to feel pretty good about things, you're going to have to win 3 out of 4 of these. So I don't think just winning at Penn State and beating Indiana is going to be enough in order to call yourself comfortably in. So to me, you're going to have to either win at Iowa or you're going to have to beat Purdue on March 1st. You got to win. I think you got to win 3 out of the 4 to find yourselves in. Otherwise, I think you're on the outside looking in.
I almost feel like at this point, unless they go on a little bit of a run in the Big Ten tournament, I almost feel like you got to beat Purdue and Iowa because you have no big wins.
Well, you got the Wisconsin win.
Which isn't quad 1 anymore?
Well, it's always going to have a 24 next to the number. Yeah. So you're going to have that one. I think if you win 3 out of the 4, I think you're going to get it. I think you'd be okay. You'd be feeling pretty good going into the Big Ten tournament. Now, you couldn't go one and done in the Big Ten tournament, but you'd at least feel confident going into it. If you go 2-2, then you're going to have to make a run to the Big Ten semis probably in order to feel pretty good about Selection Sunday.
By the way, this Spears kid for Michigan State,
yeah.
Can we quit giving him the benefit of the doubt? You can only kick somebody in the nuts so many times before it's intentional every time.
Yeah, I would say that's probably, they must teach that up there. Draymond had
it's the Ric Flair school of flailing.
It must be.
There goes my leg. Woo!
Big props to the Buckeye women. They ended a 2-game losing streak, went out to Southern California, beat USC, or rather that game was here. 88-83 was the final on that one. Jelani Cambridge with 33. Good job out of her on that. Coming up next, it is the week with which the NFL all congregates in my favorite city in the history of the world, Indianapolis. I will be there starting tonight, actually. Some things to look forward to, some big storylines that are going to be tackled. We will get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead.
Our condolences.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
The Reds are on the radio.
And he caught it. No way. What a grab. Noelvi Marte. Ellie De La Cruz is on his horse, and they're waving him to the house.
Suarez swings. He drives this.
It is gone. Eugenio Suarez puts the Reds on top.
With an old friend back in the clubhouse, it's time for spring training baseball. Hear the action on your home of the Reds.
Save big money on everything for your next bathroom project now at Menards. Upgrade your bathroom with Max. With more than 1,000 showers, bathtubs, and surrounds, you're sure to find exactly what you need to add luxury and style to your bathroom. Save big on our entire selection of Max bathroom products. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome back to That Lux Life. It's your boy, Will Winmore. Today's guest, the Millionaire Ball from the new Ohio Lottery Daily Draw game, Millionaire for Life. Hey-o! So if a player matches 5 numbers and the Millionaire Ball number, they win $1 million a year for life. Hey-o! Or $100,000 a year for life if they match just 5. Hey-o! Millionaire for Life is the game. Millionaire Ball is his name. Play Ohio's newest daily draw game for your chance to win for life. Players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hi, guys. This is the Rocket Roger Clemens. You don't pitch in the majors for 24 years without feeling it later. Shoulders, elbows, knees. Trust me, pain doesn't retire when you do.
That's baseball legend Roger Clemens.
I tried the ice. I tried rest, PT, nothing really worked. When I heard about QC Kinetics, the concept sounded promising. Non-surgical regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself without surgery. Sign me up. Just what I needed. Real lasting relief.
Whether you're a former pro, a weekend golfer, or just want to walk around pain-free again, QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge technology and natural biologics to help restore restore and repair damaged tissue.
I trusted them with my joints. Now I'm back doing what I love.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Germain Honda of Dublin cares about your vehicle and your time, and they do that with same-day service with no appointment necessary. Sell them your vehicle at their buying center and get paid as soon as the same day. Shop great lease and finance offers on all the Honda favorites, like the Passport, the Odyssey, and the redesigned Pilot. Service it, sell it, or drive something new. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or online at germainhondaofdublin.com.
At Newman Roofing, we believe every detail matters, which is why we have over 1,000 five-star Google reviews from families all across Central Ohio who have put their trust in Newman Roofing for their roofing, siding, and gutter projects. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today.
Thanks to your support, the nonprofits VetTix and First Tix have given away tens of millions of tickets and counting to vets currently serving military, the immediate family of troops killed in action, and our brave current and former first responders. These tickets are a meaningful way to say thank you to America's heroes. And now we want you to be part of the mission. Got extra tickets to concerts, games, or special events? Or want to see if you qualify? We want you to go to vettix.org and firsttix.org today. Give something to those who gave.
At St. Jude, every innovation we make is a moment we give to children with cancer everywhere. But we can't do it without you.
Learn more at stjude.org.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The NFL Scouting Combine begins today in Indianapolis. 11 Buckeyes, including Caleb Downs and Carnell Tate, will participate in interviews this week and workouts that start Thursday at Lucas Oil Stadium. The NFL Draft will be in 2 months, April 23rd in Pittsburgh. We'll have live Combine coverage on the Fan all week long. The NHL resumes the regular season Wednesday. The Jackets will welcome gold medalist Zach Werenski back as the Jackets play in Boston Thursday, then return to Nationwide Arena Saturday, hosting the New York Islanders. Jackets are 4 points out of a playoff spot. In college hoops, the Buckeyes have 4 games left until the Big Ten tournament. OSU's at Iowa Wednesday night at 9. Ohio State still looking for a quad 1 win after falling at Michigan State Sunday. Hear from their head coach today at noon on the Jake Diebler Radio Show. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union, voted best local credit union for the last 8 years by CBUS Top Picks. Visit bmifcu.org to learn more.
Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour on a Monday edition of the program. John Davidson going to join us at 11:30 on the Golden Goal and Team USA, Team Canada. We will get to that coming up then. Austin Ward in about 27 minutes from now. Get us set for the Combine, the Buckeyes who can impress the most, and also some of the tidbits that we took in from the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. That cruise is long this year. They were in like St. Bart's over the weekend. St. Thomas? Is this? I mean, it's like a 10-dayer?
It's a good time to get out. Although,
I mean, that thing used to be like a 3-4 nighter when I would do it, 5 at the most. I mean, that thing's got to be a week plus now.
If you're one of the cruisers, I probably not for the coaches or for the players or for guys that need to get back and, continue their training. But if you're one of the cruisers, you're just like, I'll be the captain and you just navigate. Like, I'm just going to do this.
I'm the captain now.
I'm going to take over because I see the blizzard impacting the East Coast. I see the flights getting canceled and delayed all up and down the Atlantic seaboard. I'm like, no, I'm not interested in that.
Probably not the best day yesterday. Over the weekend, they paused the TSA pre-lines because of the shutdown or something. Probably not the best timing for that.
Dom had to do a whole second round of interviews. The cruise is going on so long.
I know it. He had to knock out 2 of them.
I think they take a helicopter to pick up Ryan Day. Be like, all right, I'm out of here.
They used to. I remember that with Urban when he would chopper onto the plane. Like they would chopper on. Like he didn't board with the rest of us. Like he choppered.
Are you saying Reese just landed on the ship, having hop on and take him back?
Take him. All right, I've had enough of these folks. I'm going to get that guy out of here. I'm going to chop her out. It's amazing, but it's a long one. It's a massive cruise this year. So good for all of those folks. The NFL Combine starts today over in Indianapolis. So the players will roll in today, and then you'll have some availabilities tomorrow. You'll have some availability all the way through Wednesday, and then the on-field stuff starts on Thursday. It'll go D linemen, linebackers, place kickers first, then D-backs and tight ends will happen on Friday. Then Saturday you get the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, and the running backs, and then Sunday you get the offensive linemen. If I were to kind of give you like the evolution of the combine, and I think I've been going for 8 years now, what jumps out to me is the most important thing from the team's perspective is going to be those medicals. That's number one. So everybody who's at the combine has to go through a medical. So that's where you're going to figure out, is somebody hiding an injury? Is somebody a little taller or shorter? Or do they weigh a lot less than they were listed at? Those type of things. That's the measurables and the medical. That's the number one thing for NFL teams is that. Are they healthy? Give me the dimensions. That's number one. Then I think number two for NFL teams is going to be those meetings. Those meetings that they have with players. Do you fit what we're looking for from a culture perspective? And then the third thing would be the stuff on the field. And honestly, if you're one of the top 50 prospects, the stuff on the field is like third is eighth in this instance. Because there's not an NFL team worth of salt that already doesn't have these guys ranked based on, guess what? Tape. The tape wins out. The tape is always going to win out. So they have the tape, and now they're just looking for, are they healthy? Are they as big as they're listed? Are they as tall as they're listed as they look on tape? And then are they a good dude? Are they somebody or are they maybe not so good of a dude, but their talent is such that we can overlook it because of the talent? So that's kind of the pecking order of the combine. I think the on-field stuff is a distant third, well down the list in terms of importance, with one caveat. If you are someone who is a fourth-round pick or later, or if you are somebody who is potentially not to be drafted at all, then the on-field stuff weighs heavy. Because then there might not be as much tape. Then you have an opportunity. You run a 4-2. You do something on the bench. You do something in the cone. You do those type of things, and it's an attention getter. The only other position where I think you can get some juice from participating is quarterback. For whatever reason, NFL teams really like it if a quarterback throws at the combine. Fewer and fewer of them are doing it, but when they do, like Baker threw at the combine, Baker attacked the combine. That's a gold medal performance on how to attack the combine. It's owning it with the media. It's handling the interview process to an A++, and then he went out and threw, and he looked great. So, that's the opportunity you have if you're vying for top overall pick. That stuff resonates with teams.
That's going to be the Fernando Mendoza experience this week.
But he's not throwing.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Oh, he'll crush everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll crush the medical. He'll crush the interviews. But he's not throwing over there. So, yeah, I think that's kind of this is the best example. Here's two quick stories I'll give you on the combine that I think tell you perception showing up on Monday in Indianapolis, and then the reality when you leave Indianapolis. The first one I'll give you was in the Kyler Murray draft year. Going over there, the assumption of the league was that Cliff Kingsbury was hired in Arizona to fix Josh Rosen, who they had just drafted in the first round the previous year. And the thinking around the league was, well, you bring Cliff in there, pro-style quarterback, spin it all over the place. That's the goal. I was in Indianapolis for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And it was abundantly clear they were taking Kyler Murray number one, that they were not doing anything with Josh Rosen, that, in fact, they were taking Kyler Murray number one. That was evident within 10 minutes of going over there, that's the way it was going to go. The second one I will tell you is the story from last year. Going over to Indianapolis last year, and at the time the Browns had the number 2 pick in the draft. Going over there, it was Shedeur or Cam for number one. A real conversation. Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, who's going number one overall? By the time we got out of the week, it was abundantly clear that not only was Cam going number one to Tennessee, but Shedeur Sanders is no lock to go number 2. And in fact, there were people over there that week who were like, actually, I might like Jackson Dart a little bit more. Now, nobody leaving Indianapolis a year ago thought Shedeur would be a 5th-round pick. Everybody thought he'd go first round somewhere, at worst, top of the 2nd. I mean, there wasn't a single person over there who ranked players who had him lower than number 35 overall prospect. Not one. He was a top 35 prospect consensus. So this was before all the team visits and all that happened. But at the very least, leaving over there a year ago, you knew he was not a lock to go number 2 overall, and you knew that there were several teams who actually liked Jackson Dart more than they liked Shedeur Sanders. Those two things are fact, and those both came out of the combine. So you go into the combine with one set of thoughts. You leave every single year with a different set of thoughts. And it's a wild ride to be over there and watch as the opinions change in real time.
I also wonder with some of the free agent quarterbacks, like, do those discussions affect decisions that are made? I'm wondering, like, with Mendoza deciding to throw at Indiana's pro day, like, do some of the other quarterbacks, and we were talking last week, like Ty Simpson's being mocked to the Steelers at 21, and I think everyone in their grandma's like, that's not a good spot for Ty Simpson. That's not a good spot for the Steelers to be picking a quarterback. There isn't another first-round great. I don't know if there is or isn't, but quarterbacks right now don't feel like this is the deepest class for them. Is anything affected this week by whatever the quarterbacks that choose to throw do, or that quarterbacks that should get moved do get moved? Or I guess do conversations heat up with, hey, Tua, someone actually wants to pay that? Well,
Reese, do the Kyler cut talk.
Yeah. Which is insane. It's insane to think about. It's insane. Like is Diego Pavia getting that?
No, but Kyler Murray is going to be traded this offseason. He's either going to be traded or released. The conversations towards that trade will start tonight. What happens with Tua will start tonight. Is Mac Jones available? That'll start tonight. What's going to happen? I mean, what's going to happen in Atlanta? Are they going to bring Cousins back? Do they like Penix? What's going to happen with the Vikings? Are they going to roll with JJ? Those conversations start now.
It's interesting, Reese, that you brought up Ty Simpson, because that's who I was thinking of, Bo, when you said the Baker thing, because I believe this weekend Ty Simpson said he will throw at the Combine. I'm also seeing this morning some people are reporting that the Browns are going to be in the quarterback discussion here this offseason, as far as looking at one, whether it's the draft or bringing another one in, which, great, let's do that again with the Cleveland Browns. I mean, I know there's no quarterback in Cleveland yet, so I get it as far as an established starter. Yeah. Although I am wearing my Cleveland Browns shirt today because this is the favorite time of year. This kicks off draft season with this week at the Combine, and that is the Cleveland Browns fan Christmas. So I am supporting my team today because of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think quarterback is going to be all over this week. I think it's the draftables. I think it's who's available via trade, free agency. I mean, there's people talking about Malik Willis getting $30 million a year. I mean, that's the Darnold contract that he got from Seattle, except Darnold went 14-3 in Minnesota. We don't have that with Malik Willis. We don't have a whole season where he went 14-3 as a starter and put up those type of numbers. We have these blips, and I like the blips, but what's the cost on that? So those are the things that the wheels will be in motion starting today over in Indianapolis. As for the Buckeyes, who has the most to gain? We'll get into that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Dr. Mark Levy can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring. Sleep better. Live better.
Hey, everybody. It's Jeremy Birmingham Berm from the Austin and Berm Show on 97.1 The Fan. I hit maintenance mode after dropping 35 pounds with Awaken 180. The Awaken 180 coaches made it simple. Now pizza and ice cream are back, but the cravings aren't. That's a complete mindset shift. Awaken180weightloss.com.
With aging parents, you want to keep an eye on their finances without coming off like you're taking over their lives. With Huntington Bank, you can help protect your loved one's account right from your own. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Getting cold feet? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your furnace fast.
Call 1-800-COOLING.
It's Skyway time at Skyline Chili. Come get your Skyline 3, 4, or 5-way with 50% extra cheese at no extra charge. Regular and large ways only at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time.
Looking to grow your money in 2026? Kemba Financial Credit Union has secure savings options to fit your lifestyle. From everyday savings to high-yield certificates and flexible money market accounts, your money works harder here. It's a better way to bank. Rooted locally and powered by real people across Central Ohio who are committed to making a lasting difference, empowering you to meet and exceed your financial goals. Check today's rates at kemba.org/rates. Federally insured by NCUA.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Steve here from USA Insulation. Let me ask you a question. Do you know why your thermos keeps your coffee hot? Because it's insulated with foam. So let us do the same thing and insulate your home with our premium foam for only $99 a month, interest-free. The cold weather's here. There's nothing better than sitting in a warm, comfortable home with your loved ones and keeping that cold, drafty air outside. So make the call today, 529-2440, 529-2440, or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Listen up. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Dr. Mark Levy's been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results. And now he has an office in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
How many different ways can you consume morning juice? Let's see.
Live on YouTube, live on the Fans HD3 podcast on demand, and on 10 TV Plus.
And we'll send Bobby right to your house.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
This is National Public Schools Week, and Ohio's educators are proud to serve the 1.6 million public school students in our state. We know the power of public schools firsthand. We believe in the promise of providing high-quality education to everyone. To our public school educators, students, and families, thank you.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see a lingering chance of snow showers, although most of us stay dry and cloudy with highs right around freezing and gusty winds. For tonight, mostly cloudy overnight, our lows down into the teens with the breezy winds continuing, adding that wind chill. That'll continue for us going into Tuesday, although we will be partly sunny and slightly warmer with highs in the upper 30s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
The two most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants. The pervert and the skivvies. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. The uncle you never knew you had. The friends you kind of wish you didn't. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is. We're proudly sponsored by great friends at Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for nearly 80 years. Buckeyes headed to the NFL Scouting Combine this week. The question here is going to be, I mean, it feels like to me you're going to have minimum 4 first-rounders. Well, no, you're going to get 5. You're going to get 5 first-rounders out of this class. I think the major discussion point over in Indianapolis with the Buckeyes is going to be centered around 2 players predominantly. Number 1 is Arvell Reese. Is he going to be the guy who goes number 2 overall? He certainly fell off a little as the season went along, but he still had such a remarkable year, and the measurables are going to be off the charts. And then I think the other thing where there's going to be a lot of discussion point on Ohio State players is Caleb Downs. And the question is going to be, where do you pick this guy? And because of the position that he plays, is there going to be a downgrade of him based on positional need? It's just typically not something that you do, is draft a safety that high. The most similar safety to Caleb to come out in recent years is Kyle Hamilton at Notre Dame. When he came out, I'm pretty sure he went 14th overall to Baltimore in that draft. Now, of the 13 teams that drafted ahead of Baltimore before they picked Kyle Hamilton, my guess is 10 of them would like that back, because he is an all-pro and a stud safety on the back end of their defense. And I think Caleb Downs would be that too. I've already seen some of the comments from Dane Brugler, among others. Look, this is the best player in the draft. Caleb Downs is the best player he's the surest thing in this draft. But he plays safety. So where do you draft him? Like, does he get to Cincinnati? Does Cleveland have to make a decision at 6 if he's sitting there? Because that's not a positional need for them. But at the same time, he's a sure thing. And you can't really be in the business of not drafting sure things. So that best, most valuable, the other part of that conversation, positional need versus holding to your board, all of those things are going to be fascinating. I think by the time we get to April, Caleb Downs is going to be in the center of all of the dialogue leading into it. I think Mendoza's going to go number 1, and so there won't be much intrigue around there. I think the real intrigue will be, where does Downs go? And then the next part of it will be the receiver part. But we'll get to that in just a second. The Caleb Downs conversation, I think, is going to dominate this week over there. How good is he? Is he somebody that transcends the position he plays and demands that you pick him in the top 6 or 7 of this draft?
Is this a year we don't see really any movement in the top 10? Like, teams won't go make a move if they see that, say Downs gets picked early, or Arvell, and someone's available, like a Carnell's available. Again, I can't imagine Carnell or Downs being available past 6. But like, if he's there at 7, and Carnell Tate is, does Kansas City go, whoa, let's mortgage?
Right. I mean, where are they picking?
Here.
Like 11?
KC's at 9.
9? Good God.
Mm-hmm. Like Cincinnati, they're at 10. Like, do they see a lot of these defenders and go, well, we kind of need a sure thing?
Cincinnati typically doesn't trade up the Reese.
No, they don't. But I just wonder
maybe
for some of these squads that need something that's surefire. Like, we are with those teams that I mentioned are not in the ballpark of, all right, we get a guy, we can develop him.
Yeah.
They get a guy now, it's a guy that can play for them next season.
Yeah.
Maybe start.
I think I do, but I don't understand the Caleb Downs thing. Like, he's the best player in the draft. Take him.
I think people are overthinking it.
I do too.
I mean, they do it all the time.
I think to where you just said, Reese, you pick this guy, you play him next year. That's why I think people are going to fall in love with Sonny Styles this week.
Yeah.
And I think Sonny Styles, and you've already seen it a little bit in a couple mocks, I think Sonny Styles jumps in to a top 10 pick this week. Because I think people are going to fall in love with him as a person. They're going to realize how smart he is football-wise. And yeah, he's got a lot of experience, but he's a young football player for how much he's played. And I think people are going to fall in love with that. He's such a safe pick at the linebacker position that I think Sonny Styles is going to end up being somebody people talk about this week. And I think he ends up in the top 10.
I couldn't agree with you more on Sonny. I don't think people realize how big he is either. Like, him and Arvell look big on the field. Wait till you see him in person.
Bigger off the bus.
Yeah. Wait till you see those two in person and just see. I mean, what a jobs Threes did with those two guys. Like, over the last 3 years, like getting them to that point. I mean, it's a remarkable thing that you could have two linebackers. And I think you're right. I think Sonny's going to wow them. I think Arvell will too. I think you're going to have two linebackers in the top 15. I mean, that's crazy. So the highest drafted safety of all time was actually drafted by the Cleveland Browns. Can you name the safety?
Eric Turner.
Good job out of you. Number 2 overall in 1991. Eric Turner was number 2 overall in 1991. Sean Taylor, if you're curious, was drafted 5th overall in 2004. Eric Berry, 5th overall in 2010. Those two were both obviously viewed as sure things, both of them. Both of them lived up to it. Obviously, tragedy in Sean's case, and then cancer for Eric. He survived it, but it was kind of not the same coming out of that, as you could certainly understand. Jamal Adams went 6th overall to the Jets in 2017 out of LSU, and he was incredible right away and then kind of tapered off a little bit. Then Roy Williams out of Oklahoma was 8th overall to the Cowboys in 2002. So those are the highest drafted safeties of all time. Caleb Downs is not going 2 overall. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm saying the Jets could probably do worse than picking him 2 overall, but I don't think that'll be the case. But I do think there's a real chance that he goes somewhere in the top 8. I think by the time all is said and done, he'll be there.
Bo, I think there's 2 Buckeyes that are really going to improve their draft stock at the combine. And I don't know what they're scheduled to do. But I would think that the 2 Buckeyes, if they work out, that people are going to fall in love with are Davidson Igbinosun because of his length and physicality at the corner spot.
Yeah.
And then Max Clare. I think the NFL is going to salivate over Max Clare.
I don't have a problem with either one of those statements. In fact, if you were to look at this list of guys other than the top-end guys, those would be the 2 that I would name as well. I think the NFL loves IGB's fight. I mean, his hands, his fight, he's physical. I think the NFL is going to absolutely love that. And I think Claire, Claire to me, 3rd round Browns. I mean, they need another tight end. I think that would be one you could look at there, and they could add him to the mix. Carnell Tate is going to be a fascinating conversation. It's going to be very similar to the conversation around Emeka Egbuka last year. And that conversation goes a little something like this. He's never been the best receiver on his own team. My pushback to that would be that didn't really hurt Mech much. Really didn't. And really, the one year that Jackson Smith and Jigba was the best receiver on Ohio State's team, he didn't play much.
Yeah.
You know, because his breakout performance was in a Rose Bowl because Olave and Wilson didn't play. And then the next year, he didn't play much. And so Marv took off, and then the rest is history. I have not seen a single person who identifies, who does like positional rankings that has Carnell Tate lower than 2nd. He's either the 1st or 2nd receiver. He's not always the 1st. Some people have Mekhi Lemon. There's some other guys. But he's always the 1st or 2nd receiver. And if he's there at 6 for the Browns, I don't know how they don't take him.
Yeah. I mean,
they need it in the worst way.
Of the positions of need and of the positions of need they've had for years that they've tried to hit on, they haven't. And I do think Carnell Tate would solve that issue. And also for those who say, well, if he's going to go to the Browns, not going to be able to do anything with him, I think you have to remove yourself from that thinking when you talk about the draft and the quarterback situation, right? Because the Browns have a great many questions at that quarterback spot. But I think the best way to evaluate your quarterback is to surround them with the best talent. In terms of catching the football, Carnell Tate's the best at it in this draft class.
I would think so. Yeah. I would think so. And I think if he's there at 6, that'd be a very difficult one to turn away. We'll ask Austin about all of this in 2 minutes. Also, we can have the trial of Mr. Ward. Trial of Mr. Ward in 2 minutes as well. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Low testosterone can be a real problem for many men. It causes poor sleep patterns, decreased energy, low sex drive, and it makes it really hard to stay in shape. And as we all know, a healthy body is very important to our overall health and well-being. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if some or all of these symptoms sound like you, we can likely help you be done with low T. We can also help you lose weight, support your metabolism, improve your gains in the gym, and more with our new targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, and more. Our low T protocols, applied in conjunction with our body composition plans, will help most men see real improvements, true weight loss, higher energy, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and a renewed sex drive as well. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Right now, 3-pound packages of 80% lean Kroger brand ground beef for only $4.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
He knows everything about the Buckeyes. He's been offered tens of dollars by a certain team to spill his secrets. He's told that certain team to go to hell.
Damn you all to hell!
He's Austin Ward.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Kids eat half off every Monday. Find a location and menu at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank Distillery.
All right, I've known Mr. Ward for a great many years. Admired his work. It's awesome to be able to have him here at the Fan. I take off one Monday, and you choose violence. Go ahead, Bake. Play it.
But we all know in this studio and on this show specifically that everyone in the state of Montana is afraid to move up to the Mountain West Conference because they're scared of Wyoming.
No.
This is violence on a Monday?
I told Baker to destroy the evidence.
So North Dakota State moves up, and now we're coming for my Montana schools. In all seriousness, and I'm glad that this happened. This was fun. Do you think Wyoming football would have benefited more over the last 15 years being a member of the Big Sky Conference and competing for national championships at the 1AA level? Or, now you did have Josh Allen, so I don't know if you would have got him without.
Right.
Or the history that it was over the last 15, 20 years.
I swear to you, Bo, this is a true story. When I started writing for the Branding Iron as a freshman in college, I wrote a column. Wyoming was in the midst of a 2-10 football season. Vic Koenig got fired. And I was a huge supporter of Wyoming basketball. I grew up in the era. Finis Dimbo was just still a legend at that time. I didn't watch him in person in the AA, but they had some really great tournament teams. They were very good in the Mountain West in the early 2000s. Had, every year there was a really great player in the state of Wyoming. Marcus Bailey, I remember growing up watching him. Anyway, it's a long-winded way of saying I wrote, and I got absolutely just crushed, and it followed me around for years, even when I was writing professionally for the Casper Star Tribune, that Wyoming would be better off dropping out of FBS level and playing FCS football, 1AA football, that was a better level for them. There was a clearer path to competing for championships there. And they've had, as you mentioned, with Josh Allen, bowl seasons in between there. Hired Dave Christensen, had a little bit of success 15 years ago. I know not everybody wants the full breakdown of Wyoming football history, but I wrote that before any of this became popular. I thought that they should move down. I heard from the athletic director immediately about that and their conversation about how they had to do that for the financial pieces. You could still play basketball at the highest level and make the NCAA tournament at 1AA, but it's interesting to me how that conversation has now flipped, where Montana, Montana State, North Dakota State, South Dakota State, North Dakota, even though they have it great, it's got clear pathways to success for your program, comfortable ways to support it financially, a great playoff system, and now they can no longer afford that. It used to be the opposite. You might be better served competing against like-minded programs with similar budgets and resources. And now with the way that the television piece has so narrowly focused and then also expanded to such great lengths, that you cannot possibly sustain any kind of relevance if you don't have the football piece playing with a shot at the college football playoff and that ESPN deal and whatever the next one looks like when it's up for bids. And so it's flipped in some ways, but it also goes, it's probably trending towards something that I know that you talk about every single week on your show, the Super League. Well, the new Mountain West, the new Pac-12 will become, in effect, probably the FCS, or at least there's a possibility of that. So you're seeing, I think, programs start to prepare for that eventuality by moving up the way North Dakota State is. I don't know how likely or unlikely, how much consideration there is for Montana or Montana State, but they're probably going to find themselves in a similar state and willing to make that move, and much more so than they used to be.
Yeah, it's a fascinating one because Sacramento State's doing this too. They're going to join the MAC. So you see that they got a lot of money behind them, and it's an age old question of what is more valuable. And we see it in the MAC here in the state, right? Like, what is more valuable, competing for championships or filling up those coffers with the playing MACtion on a Tuesday? And I think it's a fascinating conversation. And I saw this on the other end. Now, this was 30 years ago, more than now, when Idaho followed Boise State and went D1 and then fell off a cliff, and now they're back at FCS trying to get back to some level of relevance. So you do have to be careful. Montana State both draw around 30,000. They sell out almost every game. They are both healthier programs than a great many programs that play at the 1A level. So it is going to be a fascinating thing. You're right. The television money can't be ignored. It's a really interesting time for that level of college athletics. Let's shift it back here to our guys heading over to Indianapolis this week. In terms of who has the most to gain, where do you kind of land with that one?
Yeah, that's a great question. This time of year, there's so much attention and spotlight on the potential first-round picks, and we're at this world, and you've been covering this for years, Bo. We've seen them less and less show up to do the workouts, to accept being poked and prodded when they don't need to. So guys like Arvell, Caden McDonald, Caleb Downs, they're Sonny Styles, they're Carnell Tate. They're probably just showing up to check the box and not do much more than that. But there are plenty of guys in that next bucket who I think will really turn heads. And I think that you probably begin with Davidson Igbinosun there. And some of the uncertainty or some of the criticisms that will exist for him are going to be about on-field stuff, penalties, playing discipline on every single snap. I think he's going to I think the testing numbers are going to remind people when you can add that on to the level of experience that he has, the productivity that he has in big games. I think he's got a chance to move up way more than maybe people are giving him credit for. I also think that ties into, 2 weeks from tomorrow, the start of spring ball, the big challenge that's in front of Jermaine Matthews and Devin Sanchez to meet the standard that he, helped raise over these last couple of years. But I do think that it starts there. I think someone like Lorenzo Styles could test very well. And maybe flash that athleticism. It's going to be, I don't know if he needed some time off for the shoulder or not, which maybe that would impact how much he could actually do in Indianapolis. So I can't go too far ahead on that one, but he's another guy who I think could make a move up the board. And that's, everybody else, I think you have a pretty clear idea of where they're going to land on the NFL draft boards. And, I actually, I'm pretty interested to see what that looks like for, a Will Kazmarek or Max Clare as well, because they're especially Clare, because I think his stock probably actually dropped from where it would have been if he'd gone to the NFL after being at Purdue. But, those guys I think have the most to gain, Bo.
Yeah, I think I love both. I think Clare and Igbinosun specifically have a chance to really shoot up some draft boards. I think the thing that's going to be most interesting in regard to the Buckeyes, because I think both Sonny and Arvell I think both those guys will end up being top, and Arvell could go as high as 2. I think what's going to be most fascinating for me over there this week, buddy, is what is the league going to do with Caleb Downs? because I think most people would say he's the safest or on a very short list of the most sure things there are in this draft. Like, there's no scenario where Caleb Downs doesn't play 10 seasons as a Pro Bowler, like all that stuff. But he also plays a position that typically the NFL doesn't draft very high. So how do you manage all of that? I think Downs is going to be at the center of it. And then the other thing, buddy, that I think is going to be really interesting, I've not seen a single person who evaluates receivers that have Carnell Tate any lower than number 2. There's a great discrepancy in terms of how people view some of those other receivers. Sometimes, you'll see Mekhi Lemon number 1. Other times he'll be 5. Carnell Tate's either number 1 or number 2 on every single thing. So I think those two guys, a little bit of groupthink this week over there on those two guys is going to be fascinating for me.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to tie this in a minute. It's on the bingo card since we talked about Wyoming, and then now my short then covering Tennessee. I don't know how I got lucky enough to cover Eric Berry and Caleb Downs both, but I remember a lot of conversation about that with Eric Berry after he declared for the draft. Like, what's the benefit here for you? And I know this is pre-NIL. How much difference in your draft pick could there possibly be? Well, he was, I think, in that same boat as Caleb Downs. He's the most surefire pick that you could possibly have going into the NFL draft. Well, no, but it's a position that they don't value. Well, the Chiefs saw him at number 5 and said, that doesn't matter. You have to take talent where talent is available, and this guy is as gifted as any safety as you're going to find. It's been 15 years until someone has really been in that same surefire basket, and Caleb Downs, if it were me, I would take him as early as possible. Can the Raiders actually do that with the number 1 pick? Probably not. But I would be willing to listen to offers if that moved down to 2 or 3 and then still have a crack at a guy who can anchor your defense for the foreseeable future, who also has an encyclopedic knowledge of playing defense after working for 3 of the best coordinators at the college level that you're going to find. In 3 different ones, and learning all of their systems in the blink of an eye. We don't have to sing his praises. Everybody in Columbus knows that already, but I do think that the next 2 months are going to be fascinating with him because there's going to be that push-pull. You'll see the best available boards, Mel Kiper, whoever else, and Caleb will probably be number 1 or number 2 by the time that rolls around. And then you'll see mock drafts where he's falling to 6 or 7 or 8. And you'll just say, that doesn't make sense, but that is the way that this process annually hurts our brains.
So I Googled what Marcus Bailey is up to now because I remember him quite well. Do you know what he's up to right now?
I'm probably just destroying any rec league gym that he walks into.
He's a doctor in Casper, Wyoming, and I won't do it on air, but you can Google what he's a doctor in, and let's just say it makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Well, I was on campus at the same time, so I can imagine. I bet I'm right.
I think you might be. We'll do it again next week, buddy. Good stuff as always.
See you, Bo.
There he goes. Austin Ward on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We'll do Thing or Not a Thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
This is the Daily Show with Coach Jake Diebler, brought to you by Encova Insurance. 66-60, Michigan State with a victory over Ohio State. Certainly disappointing in the result. You got to be proud of the way your team fought, given the shorthandedness you had today.
Yeah, listen, toughness was really good. I thought we stuck together throughout the course of the game, showed tremendous fight, and showed what we're capable of. And that, we had just a couple bounces didn't go our way. We let them get too many second chance points in the second half. Got to let the ball get to the rim a little too much in the second half. But, yeah, tremendous fight, but didn't get the result we wanted.
All right, we'll have another comment in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer both on and off the court. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. Basketball is full of challenging shots, and life can be too. With Encova, you don't have to do it alone. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
66-60, the final. Michigan State defeats Ohio State. Jake, we knew that it was more than likely that John Mobley wasn't going to play today. Anything you can enlighten us about Devin Royal today?
Yeah, just battling through illness. Mari's been battling through illness. He showed tremendous toughness to be on the court today. It's been an issue for us here. It's kind of spread through the team, but I think that's the biggest thing with Devin. Got to get him some rest and recovered and get him ready for the next one.
Coach, with some of that inexperience you talked about, you had to really rely on your senior point guard. Bruce Thornton played the entire game, 40 minutes. What were some of the additional challenges he had to deal with, the fact that some of his firepower was not out there with him?
Well, we wanted him to be really aggressive and felt like he could get the ball into that logo area of the paint. I like the shots he took, and I think he did what great players do. When you're down, you rise up, you step up, and that's what he did. Showed tremendous heart and will to put us in position, to get him on the ropes in their building. So really just proud of, the heart he showed tonight.
It's the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone. Now through March 2nd, get 4.99 APR financing on a new 26 Corolla or Corolla Hybrid, excludes GR and Corolla Cross, or lease a new gas-powered Corolla LE for $199 a month or 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
This weekend, I'm inviting you behind the scenes. Stop by our open house at Rosati Windows and see why we are the #1 replacement window company in Central Ohio. Visit our showroom and meet the people who stand behind our reputation. Then tour our factory and see all that goes into manufacturing our top-rated window. Visit this weekend and save 35% on windows ordered by March 31st. We're easy to find at 4200 Roberts Road, just east of 270.
Hey, Columbus, big news. For a limited time, get Uber One free for a full year so you can save on food and rides. That's a $96 value on us. Just use code Columbus. Get 1 year of $0 delivery fees, 10% off eligible food and grocery orders, and up to 6% Uber One credits on rides. Sign up for this limited time offer today using code Columbus and save big with Uber One. Offer valid through 3/31/26. Savings and $0 delivery fee on eligible orders and rides only. Fees and terms apply. See app for details.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Monday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
All right, 4 games remain for the basketball Buckeyes. Joe Lenardi in his latest bracketology has them as one of the first 4 buys in the big dance. Ohio State has 4 games left, like I just said, 20 days until Selection Sunday. They got some good news this morning. Adam Jardy had the report. A Franklin County judge has upheld the temporary restraining order that allowed Donovan Puff Johnson to join the Buckeyes in mid-January. So he'll be able to play for Ohio State for the rest of the season. Johnson appeared on February 11th in Franklin County Court and testified in that he should have that extra eligibility, or that, I guess, that restraining order against the NCAA rule, saying that he has already exercised his eligibility. Thing or not a thing?
Medium He's a role player. He's a role player. Like, I don't know that he's going to be the difference in that. He's not going to be the difference in them being a tournament team or not. But now you don't have to worry about it. He's going to be in the mix. He's going to play, and so it's one less thing to worry about. They need all the depth that they can have, especially with the Mobley injury, and hopefully get healthier this week. But I don't know that it's going to change the trajectory of the team. I mean, he's a guy who plays 15 minutes a night, kind of on average.
Yeah, this is not a thing to me. If you have a healthy Devin Royal and you have a healthy John Mobley Jr., I'm guessing maybe even Brandon Knoll, you get Brandon Knoll back here. Puff Johnson is probably less than 10-minute-a-game player on this team. And maybe on a good night, you don't even have him playing that much. So I don't believe this is a thing. He's not anybody that's going to change the fortunes of this Ohio State basketball team.
Over the weekend, and you've started to see some news about this over the last couple of weeks with Jason Tatum. Over the weekend, he was available to Boston media. Last week, it looked like he returned to practice. On Saturday, Tatum spoke with reporters about his recovery from a torn Achilles that was surgically repaired, and then asked when he might return to games.
I do not have a date. And like I said, I just take it one day at a time. I feel better than I did yesterday, and that's most important.
On Sunday, before their win against the Lakers, Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla was asked about the status of Tatum.
Joe, did Jason practice yesterday?
He was at practice.
Did he participate in any of it?
So that awkward silence, if you watch the video, is Mazzulla just staring blankly at the reporter that asked that question. Thing or not a thing?
Could be a massive thing. I mean, I watched him play the Lakers last night and beat the brakes off the Lakers. Jaylen Brown was incredible. Peyton Pritchard was incredible. And all of a sudden you paratroop Tatum, even if he's obviously won't be what he was a year ago, where he was, he's won an MVP. Like, he's on that level. So he's probably won't be at that level. But honestly, they still have like 6 or 7 weeks before they even really need him. And they can wade through the first round of the playoffs too. Like, I mean, you're talking about if he could be 80% of what he was by May, that's massive. I mean, the fact that we're even talking about this being possible after tearing his Achilles well within the last year is a crazy thing to me, that's even in play. And it would be a massive thing if he returns. And they are a team who absolutely can win the East. And if you're a Cavs fan, this is the last thing you want to hear.
Yeah, this is a thing. I think it's a big thing. I love that the Joe Mazzulla stare, like, that's going to be a new meme, I'm pretty sure, out there in the internet world. And I love that you can hear the person warming up for the national anthem in the background as he just doesn't answer anything and stare. But this is a big thing. And if I'm the Celtics, I think everybody left them for dead this year. Sure. Like, this year they're just going to get a top pick, maybe get the roster retooled, and then the following year they'll have a big year. But they're right there. They're the second seed in the East right now.
Yeah.
So if I'm them, I don't even think, even if you don't have him back until the playoffs, and I don't think I would bring him back until the playoffs, because that's when you're really going to need him.
Me too.
As it goes through. Yeah, that's massive to get him back in this Eastern Conference.
The National Football League's expected to begin negotiations for a new set of media rights deals early as this year. Their active contracts allow the league to opt out in 2029 at the very earliest. That means in order to get new deals done before then, they need its current partners CBS, Fox, NBC, and ESPN and Prime to be on board. Wall Street analysts anticipate the league could double the average annual value of their media deals, bringing annual revenue closer to $20 billion. John Arand of Puck reports the consensus among those in Wall Street is that the NFL is going to carve out separate packages of games for Netflix, Amazon, and YouTube. Quote, that model would likely include 5 games each, including the 4 international games the league took back from the NFL Network and the 2 Christmas Day games that Netflix currently has for 1 more year. Thing or not a thing?
Yeah, I think everything they do is pretty remarkable. The idea that they could double their revenue on this, which seems in play. I would also think that they would want to do this while there are enough competitors to bid against each other, because as we know, a lot of these media companies are joining forces together. So I would think you'd want to do this while they're still competitive with each other. I think this will also coincide with an 18-game season. I think this will coincide with the Super Bowl always being on President's Day weekend. I think it will coincide with a 2-game preseason as opposed to the 3-game as it is now. I think all of those things will be a part of it, and there will be a Netflix, Amazon, and YouTube component. I also think that they are not going to bail on terrestrial television. I don't think they're going to bail on CBS, Fox, NBC yet, and ABC. I don't. I think that they will make sure that they're still available to the majority of people who still get over-the-air television, and I think that they will be pretty smart about that. Everything they've done has been a home run in terms of adding the value to their constituency, their owners, and that's to bring this full circle. This is why I think the Seattle Seahawks are going for $10 billion.
Yeah, this is a big thing because it's going to change the way you consume your football, possibly. And I do think the NFL, as you mentioned, Bo, they need to be careful with this. And I know it's the NFL is king, football's king, so people find ways to consume it. But the one thing that has helped the NFL a lot over the years is, their games on Sunday, you turn on CBS, you turn on Fox, you turn on NBC on Sunday Night Football, and those games are there. So I do think, especially in this age of cord cutting, and so many people don't have a cable system, and maybe they're not going to have the network you go to, it is still important to have those big 3, big 4 still involved there on the TV side of things with ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be a good kind of mix of all of those things is the way that this thing will finally shake out. All right, final hour of the program coming up next. John Davidson going to join us at 11:30. We will blitz the weekend coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. There is no end to the amount of stuff in my garage. I've got bicycles. I've got rollerblades. I've got every basketball, football, baseball, hockey puck, lacrosse, you name it, we've got it in there. If your garage looks like mine, that might be one of the reasons you've put off getting your garage floor fixed. Maybe you've got stains and cracks, bad epoxy job. Whatever the case, if your garage looks bad, that feels bad when you pull in there. But I don't want to have to clean out my garage to get my garage floor fixed, right? Well, good news. Comer & Cross concrete floor coatings, they will come and fix your garage floor in just one day. They will take all the stuff out of your garage so you don't have to. Plus, Comer & Cross, they're all certified, uniformed pros, no subcontractors at Comer & Cross. Get your quick and easy Comer & Cross garage floor estimate now. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR is the number. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com. Get a new garage floor in just one day with Comer & Cross. Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Let me ask you a question. Has the insulation in your windows failed? How would you know? Well, one way to tell is if you're running the heat this winter way more often than you normally do. That could be a sign that that insulation has failed and you need new windows. Talk to the pros at Window Nation to find out what they can do to help. In fact, they've got a great deal going now. You can get new windows with big savings during Window Nation's Buy 4 Windows, Get 4 free sale. Plus, you could get them with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. And as an added benefit, you'll get an extra 10% off for the rest of the month. Window Nation's windows use top quality materials and seals along with insulated frames. They're so incredibly energy efficient, you actually save money on your utility bills. And they're backed with a lifetime warranty, so you won't have to live with broken windows again. Take advantage of Window Nation's Buy 4 Windows, Get 4 free sale and get an extra 10% off for the rest of the month. You already know. Go to windownation.com now for a free consultation. That's windownation.com.
Things people don't believe in. Little green aliens. Bigfoot. And that Spectrum TV combines all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. But that one is actually true. You get over $100 worth of streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, AMC Plus, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Getting the cold shoulder? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your furnace fast. Call 1-800-COOLING.
For the past 100 years, Shriners Children's has become family to over 1.5 million kids.
In tough times and good times, they're there when we need them most.
Please go online right now to loveshriners.org.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. We're 20 days out from Selection Sunday. Ohio State still trying to get onto the right side of the bubble. ESPN's Joe Lenardi says the Buckeyes are in as one of the last four byes, meaning they'll avoid that first four play-in out in Dayton. Ohio State plays at Iowa on Wednesday. Buckeyes look to bounce back from Sunday's 66-60 loss at number 15 Michigan State. Hear from their head coach today at noon on the Jake Diebler radio show. Buckeyes got some good news this morning as a judge in Franklin County upheld a ruling allowing Donovan Puff Johnson to play for the Buckeyes for the rest of the season. The 10th-ranked Ohio State women's squad beat USC on Sunday, putting a halt to their two-game slide. Buckeyes will host number 6 Michigan on Wednesday, and the NHL resumes the regular season this week. The Blue Jackets will play in Boston against the Bruins on Thursday. CBJ just 6 points out of a playoff spot. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union, voted best local credit union for the last 8 years by CBUS Top Picks. Visit bmifcu.org to learn more.
Our top men are working on everything except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a gold medal winning Reaction Monday edition of the program. John Davidson going to join us in about 29 minutes from now. We'll have a little bit more on the hockey, I'm assuming, here in the Blitz as well. Go ahead and hit it, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present a weekend sports blitz.
Sponsored by Metal Supermarkets. Visit metalsupermarkets.com/Columbus for all your metal needs.
I believe I had that. Bake, what'd you have?
I believe I was pretty spot on the hockey Final Four, the semifinals in the game yesterday. Now, I did not pick a winner of that gold medal game before the game, but I did say on the semifinals that I thought Canada and Finland would be a very tough classic game and that the U.S. would get by Slovakia pretty easily in that. And then yesterday, I thought if it was a more defensive game, that definitely favored the United States. I thought that the United States needed to get out to a fast start. They got the first goal, and then they hung on. And then I also, and I have no way of proving this because this was not on the air, but yesterday while watching the game, I said that Jack Hughes and Dylan Larkin was the group that they're leaning on right now, and that's who's going to get this goal in overtime if the U.S. gets it. And I'm glad that Zach Werenski was a part of that trio that was on the ice to get the golden goal.
I can witness. I verify all of it, Bake. You were on it, buddy. What do you got, Reese?
I had before the NBA trade deadline, I guess on the NBA trade deadline after the James Harden news was made official, that while the Cavs would have a lot of fun with James Harden, I don't know, and I didn't know then, and I'm still pretty sure now that they're not good enough to beat the top teams in the West. Oklahoma City is the top team in the West, and yesterday they didn't have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and they still put the Cavaliers in a 40-25 first quarter hole. OKC's great and a title contender. The Cavs are good. They'll be a contender in the East. I'm just not sure they'll be an NBA title contender, and I had that for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, those top West teams.
It's just different.
They're nuts. Denver, San Antonio, those and OKC. They're just built a little bit different. I believe I had this, and we talked about it at the start of one of the shows last week. I can't remember which one, maybe Wednesday's show. Patriotism's undefeated. It just is. Like when you see the flag, when you hear the anthem, whatever your thoughts are one way or another here within the country, when you're on that stage, it kind of all goes away. And shame on anyone who tries to politicize any of it, because it has nothing to do with it. It just has to do with love of country, and it's pretty undefeated, and it's infectious, and people watched in droves, and they'll continue to watch in droves as long as there's an Olympics. There's just something about it that elevates. And I thought Mike Tirico summed it up so beautifully last night, or rather Saturday night at the end of, no, it was yesterday afternoon after the hockey, with kind of his summation of it. But I thought he was great. I thought the production was great, and all of it. Like once every 2 years, because we're every 2 years with summer and winter, we buy in as big as we can with it, and it's easy to see why. I did not have that. What did you not have, Bake?
I did not have the Ohio State basketball team playing Michigan State so tough and being in it that late into the game. Yeah. With that lineup, when I see a starting lineup that comes out with Puff Johnson and Tayson Chapman in it, no offense to those guys, they're not supposed to be starters on this team. I thought Ohio State might be in for a long day, but Bruce was brilliant yesterday, and they played hard on the defensive end. They fought, and lose by 6. That was tough, but I thought it could have been a lot worse.
I didn't have that the coaches in the Olympics don't get the gold. So none of the coaches on Team USA get gold. I'm sure that John Cooper and his staff on Team Canada are fine not getting silver medals. At least I hope someone tried to present John Cooper a plushie. Like, here you go. Here, sir, have this plushie. Your second place plushie.
Whose idea was the plushies? What are you doing?
I was trying to think. There was another Olympics where they got the medals, and then they had like a scroll that was just gifted them in a scroll box.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'll go, who's clamoring for that?
Yeah. I did not have Meredith Goudreau bringing those kids and getting them out on the ice. I did not have that. And I didn't see it live. I rewatched it later, and like a great many of you, the tears start to well up when you see that. I mean, that was just such an incredible moment. And I just can't imagine what her day-to-day is like, but just so cool to have that moment and the emotion that came with it. Player who impressed, Bake?
So I'm going to go away from the Buckeye basketball and the hockey here for this one. To me, I wrapped up my day yesterday watching the NASCAR race down in Atlanta, and Tyler Reddick is only the 6th driver in NASCAR Cup history to start the season winning the first 2 races. He won at Daytona last week, and he gets the win. He survives yesterday at Atlanta. The first driver to do so since 2009, and Matt Kenseth, and I believe the last 3 or 4 to do it are all Hall of Famers. So congratulations to Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, jeez.
There was a lot of impressive performances over the weekend, but Connor Hellebuck,
stud,
that was the best goaltending performance I've ever seen, and that was one of the best singular hockey performances I've ever seen. A gold medal game with everything on the line.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Saves.
Incredible.
Good Lord. I'm going to go Michaela Schifrin here. So we all remember the last Olympics where she failed to medal. For perspective, she is the greatest alpine skier ever by accomplishment. But the last Olympics, it got in her head, and she didn't medal, and she fell out and didn't finish races, and she was 4th in the giant slalom, or in the combined, I think it was, or was the giant slalom, not sure, in her first event. In the slalom, she won by 1.5 seconds. Can you imagine the pressure that was on her for 4 years? That's why I have so much respect for these people who do the Olympic thing. It's once every 4 years. But you can dominate all you want in between, but what people remember outside of the people who are in your sport is what you do in the Olympics. And so for her to get that gold and to do so in dramatic fashion and dominant fashion was very cool to see. And that there's a lot of those instances that have repeated over the course of the last 2 weeks. Player who disappointed, Bake?
I'm going to stay in that NASCAR race, and Carson Hocevar is a young driver in NASCAR. I think he's 23 years old. Dude, calm down a little bit. Like, he caused 2 wrecks on 2 of the restarts just because he's so impatient and trying to... I understand you're trying to win, But, dude, these cars are so big, you can't fit them in holes that are smaller than them. Knock it off, dude. Chill out a little bit.
I wonder if it's encouraged with some of the younger drivers just to go fast and make it exciting. And that often, I think, can mean crashes.
I covered NASCAR for 6 years, went to Daytona every year for 2 weeks in February for Speed Weeks and then for the 500. And then I covered, at the time, it was the Pepsi 400. And then I think it's changed a lot over the years in Daytona. I remember this with Kyle Busch when he was coming up. And he was an incredibly talented, kind of a virtuoso driver, like was just absurdly talented as a driver. And at one point, NASCAR was like, might that be the worst thing if you are a little bit of a jerk? And Kyle really leaned into that, and it benefited him until it didn't, but it benefited him, no doubt, because he and it was odd because I remember talking to him before, and he was just a really nice kid. But that was something that they're like, hey, we need some personality to this thing. So they do like that, to your point, Reese.
I was disappointed at Amari Bynum. Come on, man.
Tough.
2 rebounds. Were you sick? Was he sick? Like, we maybe hear some status updates coming up at noon on the Jake Diebler radio show. Probably not, but yeah, I guess if he's healthy enough to play, you put him out there, but you've got to give Bruce more than that. You need to help Bruce with a little bit more.
Yeah.
It was a 6-point game. Also, make your free throws, the rest of you.
I'm going to go Mother Nature, man. She sucks. I mean, this, like, how much must we endure? It's February 23rd. I get it. Like, this is in the brochure for it to be cold and snowy, but not after 2 straight months of just brutal, and then like 1 week of respite, and then right back in the mix. This is nuts. It sucks. Bad job, Mother Nature, in the biggest possible way. Bud Kilmer, honorary coach of the week. Who do you got, Bake?
I know he wasn't the head coach on Team USA, but God, I loved seeing Torts back behind a bench. And I love that he was a part of that gold medal winning team for the United States. I'm guessing it was pretty cool for him and Zach Werenski to reunite for this. And just an awesome, awesome moment for all of them. I love Torts. I love what he did for the Blue Jackets, and it was great to see.
I didn't necessarily know where to put this, but Kenny Albert, Mike Tirico, and the entire NBC Sports crew in the setup, the lead up, the call, and then the post game for the men's hockey final was just incredible storytelling by everybody involved.
I don't know if Tirico is ever the best at any one thing he does, but he's damn good at all the things he does.
He's what you want the face of a sports network to be. He's versatile, and he's really professional and really good at all of it. And that's like what Nance was for CBS for the longest time. Costas used to be this for NBC. Like, this was the job that Mike went for this, to do Olympics and Super Bowls, and this is what you get to do at that level. I'm going to go a little off script here for Bud Kilmer, honorary coach of the week. I'm going to go Pat Riley. So yesterday, the Lakers unveiled a statue for Pat Riley, which I never thought would ever happen. I mean, he hasn't been there since the late 80s. He won 4 championships as a player, another 2 more, 1 more as an assistant, and then another one, 4 as a coach, 1 as a player, and another one as an assistant. So 6 total titles he was responsible for in Lakerland. They put an incredible statue of him out in front. If you've been to Los Angeles, or if you haven't and you're planning to go, it is worth it to go down to Staples downtown, because they have the Kobe statue, the Magic statue, the Shaq statue, Kareem. Now Riley goes. It's a really cool kind of courtyard they have in front of Staples. It's very cool. But the reason that I wanted to bring it up is this. Riley in his press conference, and the statue is him in the Armani suit doing the fist, which is the play for Kareem for the sky hook. That's the signal to Magic that we want the sky hook now. That's what that statue's all about. But the reason we're doing it is Riley in his media availability said, I'd like to see coaches in suits again. And I agree. I love that Jake's in the suit now. I would love to see him in suits. I think it's cool. I think sometimes they look a little sloppy in the quarter zip hoodie stuff. I like a coach in a suit, especially basketball. I'd love to see them kind of get back to that a little bit in the NBA and even in college hoops too. And Riles was the Armani king, man, and always looked very, very sharp in all those years running the Showtime Lakers. How can hockey pay this moment forward? And we'll put a ribbon on the Olympics coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Welcome back to That Lux Life. It's your boy, Will Winmore. Today's guest, the Millionaire Ball from the new Ohio Lottery Daily Draw game, Millionaire for Life. Hey-o! So if a player matches 5 numbers and the Millionaire Ball number, they win $1 million a year for life. Hey-o! Or $100,000 a year for life if they match just 5. Hey-o! Millionaire for Life is the game. Millionaire Ball is his name. Play Ohio's newest daily draw game for your chance to win for life. Players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Remember what sunshine feels like? Windows open, birds chirping, everything looking fresh and new? Spring is closer than you think, and so are those home projects on your to-do list. Maybe winter left its mark, a small leak that's getting bigger, shingles that didn't survive the snowstorms, or siding that's clearly seen better days. Whatever your home is facing, our team of professionals at Newman Roofing are here to help. For more than 34 years, Newman Roofing has been helping homeowners protect what matters most. From your first phone call, you'll notice the difference. Passionate and committed people who care about doing the job right. And with over 1,000 5-star Google reviews, you don't have to take our word for it. If your roof, siding, or gutters need attention, call the family company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof this spring, get a Newman roof.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven. I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
At Babs R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Babs R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued, Babs R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BAB to schedule your free estimate or go to babsrus.com. Babs R Us, where dreams soak in.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or give us a call and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see a lingering chance of snow showers, although most of us stay dry and cloudy with highs right around freezing and gusty winds. For tonight, mostly cloudy overnight, our lows down into the teens with the breezy winds continuing, adding that wind chill. That'll continue for us going into Tuesday, although we will be partly sunny and slightly warmer with highs in the upper 30s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
1, 2, 3. Here at The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan. The best hair on the air. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
We've seen this before with the NHL. You get one of these Olympics that deliver this type of level, and there's a bump that comes with it. The way that, and I look forward to talking to John Davidson about this in 11 minutes in terms of like how when you are in charge of a team. Now he's a senior advisor with us now, but when you were the boss and it's your guys over there, do you watch with your holding your breath? That something doesn't happen, that you don't get some injury, all the while realizing that the positive that's happening for the sport is so overwhelming and it's bringing eyeballs to it that otherwise wouldn't watch it. Then you say to yourself, how can we not do it? Like they have to. It has that type of bounce to it. They'll be in France in 4 years. Then 4 years after that, it's back here. It's Salt Lake City is where you'll be for the next two Olympiads. So you're going to get NHL players, I would assume, the next two times out. Now, the question is, can hockey benefit from this? Well, of course. They can't help but benefit from this. The timing of their schedule doesn't hurt. When the idea of you'll have a trade deadline coming up, you get back to work later this week. Jackets are in Boston on Thursday, provided the weather holds. And then you will start this stretch run over the next 6 weeks, which is basically just a sprint to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now, for the casual fan, it will get lost a little bit in March Madness. March Madness kind of owns that middle part of March where you get the first rounds and the Sweet 16 and all of that. But there absolutely is a time where hockey can benefit tremendously from this here in the States. Canada doesn't need to benefit. They're already all in as much as can be. I just think showing up and putting a good product on the ice. And if for this Blue Jackets team, which is the one we're most concerned about, you think about all the momentum they had as an organization going into the break, and now all the momentum that the sport has coming out of it. This is a heck of a time. It is a heck of a time. And I do think you will see a massive fever. One of you guys mentioned this earlier in the show. When Zach is honored Saturday, I mean, come on. That's going to give you all the feels there, kids.
So that game's not only their first time in a long time, what feels like at Nationwide Arena, but it's in a game against New York Islanders, who you're looking up at for that third playoff spot in the Metro. And then in the wild card, you've got the Boston Bruins. So if you're able to win that game against Boston, or at least pick up some points, and then things get even closer, the game against the Isles, Nationwide Arena, as it's been for the past couple of months, is going to be a full barn. But then you put all of that into it. You honor Zach Werenski and Johnny Gaudreau and his family and the gold medal that was won in the Olympic Games yesterday. That will help propel you into the trade deadline. And if you're able to maybe make it a big splash at the deadline, they added Marchment before the Olympic break, you're just able to kind of stack real momentum that can carry you into March, can carry you into April, and can make it so that the March Madness thing, well, yeah, it's going to be something, but for the Jackets fans here, it's something that's not going to matter too much, because this team can compete with any of those they're looking up at the Metro, at least when you get into the first and second round of the playoffs, if that is to be their destination. And what can be done in the next month can really set you up well for that.
I think here in Columbus, you're not going to have a problem at all with keeping this momentum, because you have a team that's in the race, and I don't think they're going anywhere. And the race is ridiculous in the Eastern Conference this year as of right now. You mentioned the trade deadline. Will the Blue Jackets be active? Will they not? So I don't think here in Columbus, Ohio, you're going to have any problem. Now, are you going to have a problem in some of the West Coast cities where teams are out of it? And some of those teams like San Jose, they've got a young, exciting roster. Maybe people will continue to go, but they're kind of out of it right now. Chicago, chances are they're going to be sellers. Are the Blackhawks fans going to stay engaged, especially after the run they've had? So nationally, I think you're in a good spot if you're the NHL, because there's so many teams still in it. But in those cities where the teams are not, are you going to be able to capitalize?
Here's the deal. So there are a certain segment of you out there listening right now who, like Bake, either go to every Blue Jackets game or you watch every Blue Jackets game. There's a segment of you that are doing that. What the Olympics do is transcend that audience. The Olympics pull in the masses. So there is a timeliness, in my opinion, there's a timeliness for an operation like the Columbus Blue Jackets right now to take full advantage of this. Your guy had the assist on the golden goal that delivered the first Olympic gold medal to the United States since 1980's Miracle on Ice. Your guy had the assist. There's going to be 20,000 there the rest of the way because that's the diehard and they'll be there. But can you get the attention of a city and a region that fell in love with Olympic hockey over the last week, and now you can now have their attention? And you're fighting. This is the other thing. If you are the Blue Jackets, you are fighting for attention from. I mean, this is a whole state thing. I mean, hockey everywhere, right? You're fighting for attention with the Cavs and Ohio State men's basketball and Crew getting started. All these things that are happening right now, March Madness, all of it. You have this to me. All of the momentum that you had from the Stadium Series, which was a very specifically unique Columbus phenomenon. This does this for the whole region, would be my argument. That you have people who have never watched hockey or watch it very rarely who now go, oh, the Blue Jacket defenseman, he was on that. And oh, they're winning. They've won 7 in a row. They've won 9 out of 10. They've done all of these things. Now you can jump on that bandwagon. And that's the thing. If you're the Blue Jackets, you want to take full advantage of, because the bandwagon is warmed up. It's ready. Just jump on the damn thing and keep the momentum going. That's the task. It's a tough task, but that's the task at hand for them. And if they can somehow get in, and I'm with you, I don't think they're going anywhere. If they can get in and get in the mix, boy, this could buoy them.
It can also,
in a big way.
With what I think every 4 years the Olympics does is it ignites passion for a certain sport in kids. Sure. And so I'm interested to see, like, what you hear the stories of Olympic hockey teams of years past and what it does for kids in America, Canada, and other places in the world. Like here locally, big hockey town. I think Ohio, you've seen a boom in the last 20 years in youth hockey. And I wondered, like, what kind of stories you're going to hear, whether it be in 2030 or Olympics in the future, that talk about, boy, when I was a kid watching Jack Hughes score that game-winning goal against Canada, and I said right then and there, I'm going to be a hockey player. Like the passion that can carry from an Olympics like this, and you can, cast that net over all the other Olympic sports, but it's just one of the cooler things that I'm excited to see. Again, everybody building off of this momentum that a gold medal hockey gets you.
I do wonder too if the casual fan, the checking in on the Blue Jackets, they're watching that because of the Olympics. You know what? Jack Hughes seems like a pretty cool story. Mm-hmm. Or Quinn Hughes seems like a pretty cool story. Maybe they'll check out a New Jersey Devils game when nothing's on a Tuesday night, or a Minnesota Wild game. You know what? Those Kachuk brothers, they reminded me a lot of those two Bash brothers in the Mighty Ducks movies. Maybe I'm going to check out their game a little better. Man, that Connor Hellebuck's really good.
That's it. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's what they're hoping for.
Yeah.
Is to get that. You're going to watch every game. I'm going to watch. Reese is going to watch. A great many of you are going to watch. We're going to have it on. We're going to watch. We're either going to go to the games or going to watch them. But what you're looking for is the combination of what you just said. Reese talking about young kids that bought into it. Oh, baby, let's go. Bought into it. My kids don't play. Last night they were downloading something on Xbox. It's some NHL game on Xbox that they were downloading because they got hockey fever watching this over the last week. That's it. That's what you do. That's the way a sport transcends its regular audience, is exactly by this.
And if your kid does pick it up, beware your pocketbook.
Oh, jeez. Well, yeah, they all are. I mean, talk to me. I can tell you, You have no idea how much a lacrosse helmet costs.
Lacrosse too.
There's a lot of those where the price, the sticker shock is pretty big. But there's a lot of things that folks are doing to make sure that there is equipment at rinks for the kids who want to play it, and so it's all come a long way. But this was a massive day for USA hockey. It was a massive day for the sport yesterday. John Davidson, who's seen it from both sides, Canadian side and of course the American side, one of the brightest minds you're ever going to find. The Hall of Famer is going to join us in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
It's truck season at Germain Toyota, and the deals are about as tough as the trucks. Get into a new 2026 Toyota Tundra with $299% financing for up to 72 months, plus $1,000 in Toyota Financial Services finance cash, or lease a 2026 Tacoma SR5 for just $289 a month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year, and $36.99 due at signing. Power, reliability, and offers that work as hard as you do. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or check them out online at germaintoyota.net.
Hey folks, it's Berm here from 97.1 The Fans, Austin and Berm Show. Last week I was on the road visiting a recruit, and I saw one of my old fast food favorites on the side of the road and was hungry for lunch, and I thought to myself, this place used to just call my name. And I thought, hey, why not stop in and have some? I'm on maintenance right now with Awaken 180, and I'm allowed to eat it. So I pulled in, I ordered the usual, I sat there and unwrapped it in the restaurant, and I was so excited. And then halfway through it, I thought, why am I eating this? And it wasn't even in a guilty way. It was more confusion because it didn't taste like I remembered. It didn't hit like it used to. I wasn't craving it anymore, and I really wasn't excited about it. And I just kind of stopped wanting it, and that's when it clicked. Awaken 180 didn't just help me drop 35 pounds. It changed how I look at food. I'm 3 weeks into maintenance, and I haven't put a pound of that 35 back on, and I finally understand what works for me. It's not about I can't. It's about not wanting it the same way anymore. I'm not craving the bad. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Working your way through that home projects list? More flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Call the Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Join us for Diamond Seller's Wedding Weekend, February 27th and 28th. We guarantee the best price year-round, and Wedding Weekend adds an advantage you won't find anywhere else. Enjoy preferred bridal pricing up to 30% off for 1 weekend only. Visit Diamond Seller February 27th and 28th.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. After putting up with Dom Tiberi for a decade, the broadcast gods gave Bo these two. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed, it is. And he was the boss around here for a long time. He's a Hall of Famer. He's currently a senior advisor with your Columbus Blue Jackets, and really one of the great faces of the sport that we have. We're lucky to have him back here in town. He's great. John Davidson. He joins us on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. My friend, you are a sturdy son of Alberta, and as the puck drops yesterday, where is kind of your head with anticipation, and then as you took it all in?
Good morning, Bo. Nice to be with you. That's the most nervous I've been for a hockey game in a long time. My stomach was actually churning, and that never happens to me. I've done 53 years in the NHL, and I've seen a lot of different things. I've broadcasted Olympics. I've done a lot of different things. That really had me tied up. And during the intermissions, I couldn't. I had to go outside and walk around. And, I'm a Canadian-born, grew up playing hockey in Canada. It gave me a base, but I've been in the States for so long, I'm actually a dual citizen. Mm-hmm. I don't know who to vote for. The only thing I know is hockey won. Hockey won for sure. Zach Werenski, who I adore, had the primary assist on the game-winning goal. He willed his way. If people around the world of hockey or sports knew Zach better, they'd understand. I think the people in Columbus know Zach can will his way into different things, and he willed his way. He knocked a big guy off the puck, and that's McKinnon, who plays in Colorado, made the bullseye pass to Hughes for the goal. And it's interesting, too, Bo. I got a text from Zach. I sent a text and congratulated him. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that he's proud of more than maybe anything else is the fact that they now have inspired a next generation to be great hockey players. And that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. This whole thing was really special. Really special. And I know one team got a gold, one team got a silver, but there was no losers. Hockey was a winner. There was no losers.
JD, that's so interesting what you just said from Zach, because that really hits home, because I think when you hear Celebrini and some of these young guys from Canada talking about Sid's golden goal and having some sort of memory of that in Vancouver and what that did for a generation of hockey players, for Zach to have and it tells you a little bit about what he's all about, but the fact that he was thinking about that after that moment and what that can do for USA hockey, that tells you a little bit about who Zach Werenski is.
And it goes back to 1980. The same thing happened there, with Mike Eruzione and the gang. And I was actually with the Rangers then, and we had 2 or 3 of their players ended up with us, Robbie McClanahan and Mark Pavlich. And it just, it inspired people. Everybody's still talking about it, too. Here we are Monday, and they're still talking about it. I just had CNN on here for a second, and Wolf Blitzer was talking about it, and he's from Buffalo. Born and raised, and that's all he's talking about. It's all over the place. Every network, every outlet, podcast. It's wild. It's just wild. It was and actually, you know what? It was more than just for me, because I watch everything. The day that there was 4 games, the quarterfinals. Good Lord, 3 of them went to overtimes. It was great. The women's hockey was great. I had the honor of broadcasting in Japan, if I remember, a U.S.-Canada gold medal game. And that was, I can't tell you how much I enjoyed that game years ago, but it was fabulous, just fabulous. So the world of ice hockey for the women and the men really grew, I think, over these Olympics.
Oh, there's no doubt. And I do have to imagine when you are in charge of an NHL operation, as you've been multiple times, and one of your guys is over there, there is an excitement. Yeah. There is something, well, this is definitely for the good of the game. The game is growing here, but at the same time, like, man, we got a stretch run here. We're trying to get into the postseason. I think about like that injury to Sid and everything that happened with that. Yeah. I'm sure it pulls at you both ways, doesn't it, JD?
It does. When you're your primary job is to run an organization, you flinch at different things. When I saw Sid go down, and the one leg in particular just bent when Gudats hit him, I was thinking about the Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean what it means to them. And I still don't know the severity of his injury, but it sounds like he may not be out too long, if he's out at all. But he means a lot to them, and they're having a tremendous season. And I've been in the boardrooms at the NHL when we've discussed the Olympics, and it's fearful because you shut your own league down for almost 3 weeks. You worry about injuries, insurance, all that stuff. But the players are the ones that want it most. And you know what? You have a partnership in this league, the players and the ownership, and of course, by extension, your fans. And so you look at this and you say, hypothetically, you're a Columbus Blue Jacket fan. You're the member of the fifth line, and they're fabulous. And they've watched Zach Werenski grow up since we drafted him as just a young guy. And right now he's a superstar. So you want him to go over there, play in the Olympics, and do something outstanding, which he did. Could you imagine if he blew a knee and he was done for the rest of the season? There's where the confliction is, and it's tough. It's really hard. And I don't know if there's a proper answer other than he did a great thing for USA Hockey. They won. He's coming home. The people are going to be proud of him as can be, and he's healthy. How do you beat it?
Yeah, you don't. And, JD, this is another one that, Blue Jackets fingerprints all over this. Zach, of course, with the incredible play with McKinnon, and then to get Hughes and hit the game-winning goal, and then the incredible emotion of Meredith bringing Johnny's 2 kids and them on the ice with Kachuk and Z and all of it. I mean, it just hit so home for all of us here in Central Ohio.
I think more than just Central Ohio. I think that's something that, and I've been reading a lot of stuff today. It's all over, and I knew they were there. I actually texted with Johnny's dad, and I think it was bittersweet for him at first because he's there. It's still a very difficult situation for the parents. They lost their world, and they're still fighting their way through things. But they were there, and I don't know who invited them. I don't know how it all happened, but whoever did, congratulations, because that was magnificent. And then knowing Zach and the relationship he still has, obviously, and all our players with the family, what they did there with the two little ones in the jersey, there's going to be a movie here. There's got to be. I mean, it's just it was something else. And then Matthew Tkachuk, who was a teammate of Johnny's for a long time in Calgary, he was a big part of it. I knew the Tkachuk boys when I was running St. Louis, and they were about 2.5 feet tall. and the father would bring them to the locker room, and they were little rats running all over the place, causing trouble. And
they still are.
What they've grown up to be. Yeah, that's exactly right. Only they're grown men, and they're terrific hockey players. So it's been quite a ride watching all this stuff. But yesterday, to me, was one of the more emotional days that anybody could have. And for people like us who are around the Blue Jackets and the fans in Columbus, and to see all that, you're right, Central Ohio, that was something.
John, you're a goalie by trade, buddy. Hellebuck, that's an all-time performance, 41.
Yeah.
I mean, the McKinnon, just the Taze save. I mean, I guess the technical term for the hockey folks is he stood on his head.
Yeah, you always like when your goaltender gives you a chance to win a game. I think if we look at our franchise over the years, Bobrovsky did that a lot for us. And then when you have a goalie that, I don't know if the right word is, or the wording is, steals a game for you, but he did everything he could possibly do to give his chance to win the game, and they won. And I think the Canadian team couldn't have played much better other than they didn't finish. McKinnon missed the open side, etc. And so there's no shame there. But I think that the players themselves have said it themselves that the main reason why we won, the U.S. players I'm talking about, is Connor Hellebuck really did the job. And you need that in a one-game series. We've seen it in the past.
Yep.
And he's a legend. He's now a legend. It's official. Jimmy Craig did the same thing for the 1980 team. But this was a very special performance. He was good all the way through the Olympics. And Jordan Binnington played very well too at the other end.
Yep.
But Hellebuck did the job. He deserves every accolade possible. He handled the pressure. He's a very intelligent goaltender. He's big. And you don't see pucks squeeze through him. A lot of big goalies have trouble with between the arms and the body or the 5-hole, which I did. He closes it up. He doesn't get too aggressive by moving out too far because he's too big. He doesn't have to. He just did the job, and he fought. Another thing I really admire with goalies when I watch them a lot is which goalies fight through traffic to find the puck.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of traffic at his goal crease. And he fought, and he fought, and he fought, and hats off, man. This guy was special. It was a very special Olympics for him, capped off by the gold medal game, which is cemented with his name in the Hockey for USA Hockey the rest of the way.
Legend that you'll never buy a beer in the States again. I'm sure of that, my friend.
He shouldn't have to. No, that's exactly right.
Those are all going to be on the house.
I don't know if he drinks, but if you do, good luck. Congratulations.
JD, I'll get you out of here on this one because from the other side of it, the pressure on Canada, on McDavid, on McKinnon, and those guys are all on the ice on the final play. Can you, as a native,
McKinnon and McDavid,
yeah, if you can put that into perspective as a native Canadian of the pressure it is to put on that jersey, and it's like if you don't win gold, you fail.
Well, yeah, that's true. But it's interesting this time around, in what I'm reading and watching, there's not a lot of blame game. They feel they played very well. It's just one of those things where a goalie was as hot as could be. The Canadians, they take it so serious across the country. Throughout the Olympics, when Canada was playing, if it was a weekday during the day, the kids were all across the country allowed to watch it in school. They weren't taking classes. They were watching the hockey game. It's part of life in Canada. It's a northern country. They have long winters. Hockey's their lifeblood in a lot of ways regarding sport, and by extension, the value of how they feel about life in general. Hockey's our game, and we've got the greatest player that ever played, in my opinion, in Wayne Gretzky, and on and on and on. And it's a shot, it's a gut punch. But from what I've been able to ascertain, even in talking to my relatives up there, is, you know what, congratulations, U.S. Hellebuck was really good. I mean, really good. We have no shame because we played very well. And the same is going to go that way with the women's gold, too. The U.S. was heavily favored. The Canadian women played their tails off. I watched that whole game from start to finish, and they really played hard, and they were not the favorites by any means, not even close. And they made something of it. So the Canadian people, I think, are very proud of their two teams, but very disappointed that they weren't able to win a gold, but respectful for sure.
Well, that's a lovely sentiment. It is so great for you to join us on short notice. Love talking to you. Thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciate you, sir.
Appreciate it, Bo. Thank you, and have a good one. And let's get the Jackets in the playoffs. Thank you.
Absolutely, and that starts on Thursday up in Boston. That is the Hall of Famer, John Davidson, Senior Advisor with your Columbus Blue Jackets on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We get you three things on a Monday. Coming up next, Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Staples has hot deals and low prices on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
This Buckeye Football Impact Report is brought to you locally by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Ohio State football Impact Report.
After one season at Georgia, defensive back Dominic Kelly looks to make an impact in his first year at Ohio State. In 2025, the St. Petersburg, Florida native totaled 3 pass breakups in 8 games for a Bulldogs team that won the SEC title. Buckeyes head coach Ryan Day on his excitement for Kelly.
When you watch his film, we're really excited about his transition. He can cover at a high level, very intelligent player, and he has 3 years left. So to me, that was exciting to get somebody young into the program like this. So there'll be a lot of competition there. Good combination of some older, experienced guys and some young, talented guys.
Kelly was one of 4 defensive backs to transfer into the program this offseason, joining Duke transfer Terry Moore, Florida State transfer Earl Little Jr., and Alabama transfer Cam Calhoun, who also played at Michigan and Utah. This report brought to you by Safe Light Auto Glass. This is Tyler Danberg on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelight.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone. Now through March 2nd, you can get $5,000 customer cash on remaining new 25 Tundras. Or get 0.99 APR financing on Tundra plus $1,000 TFS APR cash. With approved credit through TFS, excludes TRD Pro. APR cash must be applied to deal. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Ah, college. A time to broaden the mind, question, learn. A time to challenge the status quo. And eat a ridiculous amount of pizza, which you can buy with your Huntington Bank debit card with the Ohio State University logo. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official consumer bank of The Ohio State University and the unofficial bank of pizza. Let's go Bucks! Let's give more for money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way. That's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No scalpels, no fake fixes, just real relief.
What I love about QC Kinetics, these are the most respected medical pros in the country that specialize in non-surgical therapies to get you moving again.
Don't mask the pain, fix it. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
I trusted QC Kinetics. You should too.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
If you love a good pie analogy,
think of the cap as a pie. And once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
Then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what do we have on the poll today?
Daily Fan Poll asks, does the United States of America have the best men's and women's hockey teams in the world? 96% say yes.
I bet they do.
So.
I bet they do. Well, when you win the gold, yeah, that's what comes with that. Like, it doesn't matter, you know.
Was Connor McDavid the part of the 3% that said no?
He was the MVP, right? McDavid was the MVP of the hockey tournament.
That sounds right.
He
broke the record for most
player overall.
He had the most points. I didn't see actually who won the MVP.
I thought
it would have had to been between him and Hellebuck.
Yeah. All right, time for three things on a Monday. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Number one for me, my career of coaching young Beamsy is now over, as the travel basketball season is now over for him. Coached him from the time he was a kindergartner all the way through 6th grade, and then 7th grade they go to middle school, and the rest is history. They ended in style. They won their final tournament as travel basketball players. I was looking this up. Since 3rd grade, that group has won over 85% of their games. The worst record they had in any one season was 32-8. And they won it in style. Just unselfish, great kids. And really, I'm going to really miss them because there just isn't a single jerk in the bunch. Like, they just have each other's back. They just play the right way. And sometimes those of you who are parents out there, you realize that as important as all of these things, education, athletics, all of it, the one thing that is most critical is peer group. And if you get your kids in a good peer group, they can coast through things, and life is a lot easier. And this is a great peer group. I'll miss them tremendously. So youth travel hoops done by the time we were done yesterday afternoon.
My beloved Ohio University Bobcats made the announcement around 11 o'clock this morning in conjunction with the Mid-American Conference that on Friday, March 6th, in the Ohio men's basketball season finale against the 27-0 right now Miami Redhawks, as Miami goes for 31-0 probably that night, was supposed to be a 2 o'clock tip from the Convocation Center in Athens. So I was actually hoping to make a trek down there because you get off at just before noon. You're able to make it in 90 minutes. Well, they've moved that game. So the finale, the Battle of the Bricks, will be 9 o'clock that Friday night.
Oh, p.m.
p.m. It goes from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Oh, my gosh.
It'll be on ESPN2, and that's really cool for the Miami program. Stinks for me, but
What?
You know.
Why was it 2 originally, Reese? Do you know that?
I have
That's
no
an
idea
odd
why it was
time on a
2, but I was
Friday.
thrilled with the idea of it.
Yeah. Well, look, this could be a throwback for you. 9 p.m.
There's no way I'm staying up.
Roll out of there
No
till
way.
11:30, straight to Court Street. Who gets hurt?
A man has got to know his limitations.
That is an ethos.
Come
of the
on,
show.
Reese. I'll go with you. Let's do it together.
That would be amazing.
Come on.
If Four Locos still had caffeine.
Let's do it together, Reese. I'm a little bummed about that, too, because I wanted to go to that game as well. And a 9 o'clock tip is awful late when you wake up early on Saturday morning. Yeah. But you only live once, right, Bo?
That's right. That's right.
What they say.
Speaking of only living once, boy, did I have a heck of a sports Sunday yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
It was a heck of a day. We got to get up and do the fan call-in show, which is every morning from 8 to 9 on Sundays with Scotty Vegas. Then I ran straight over to the R-Bar, met a couple of my buddies there, and watched the rest of the USA-Canada game. Then I headed north up to Scotty Vegas's neck of the woods. Him and I went to an establishment and watched the Buckeye Hoops game against Michigan State. Then I came home. I mentioned I watched the end of the NASCAR race. And to top it off, I was like, what am I going to watch tonight to wrap this up? I watched a documentary on the Montreal Expos. What a hell of a sports Sunday.
Good grief. You zigzagged across the Metroplex.
Did it
What a
all
good job.
safely.
You did. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if we'll get to 3, so I'll just make this one my second. I'm off to Indy today. I'll join you guys a couple of times over the next couple of days over there. I describe the NFL Scouting Combine as one of the most surreal experiences you would ever do if you're a media member or someone who goes, because the NFL basically just takes over downtown Indianapolis. So, for example, like 5 years ago, I saw Ron Rivera at like 12:30 at night on a bird that you rent, like driving back to the JW Marriott. You'll see Jerry's bus, like all of those crazy things that make no sense. We'll have full reporting on this starting tomorrow. So
don't let anything that happened yesterday distract you from the fact that the Cleveland Guardians are 3-0 in Cactus League play and signed Reese Hoskins yesterday to a minor league contract.
I saw Artie Moreno, the Angels owner. Did you see that quote?
No.
Fans don't care about winning. It's not even in the top 5. They want safety and a good atmosphere. They don't care about winning.
Want fun.
Okay.
Second thing for me, remember the Jake Diebler show is next, so keep that pod down so the music doesn't blare in our ears.
Damn.
Goodness.
Jake's coming up next. We are back tomorrow. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State